What is up, everyone? It's your main man, Frank Castle, your sorcerer supreme, right here in each and every Saturday night on YouTube. Frank Castle's FearLess, and I am joined by my etherical translator and my partner in this life, and many others, Paula Milo.
Hey, everyone.
So, as you can hear, my voice is not quite there.
Yeah.
Why is that, Paula?
Flu. We got the flu. Took us out.
Oh, boy.
It was horrible. Horrible. 2 weeks. 2 weeks straight up. We haven't been this sick. I don't think I've been this sick since I was a kid. It was horrible. Horrible.
What the hell is going on?
I don't know. Everyone, they said it was a
holy heckosaurus,
unseasonably early flu season.
I feel like we were like the first to get it.
Wasn't Dr. called you patient zero?
Yeah, so we took a week off. So shout outs to everybody who hung in there and who's joined. There's a brawl in the background. Yeah. Who's joined us here tonight, and you've been hanging in there waiting for us. I appreciate it, sending those good vibes. But we took a week off, and then just to recenter, recalibrate. Right after coming out of that weekend, we started getting sick.
Yep.
And then it got so bad that we're still out of it. So it's been weeks.
2 weeks. 2 full weeks.
I've not had my voice this whole time. Do you know how nuts that is driving?
Frank was so sick. I kept saying to Frank, we're going to have to go to the hospital, or we're going to have to go to a doctor. And he was like, oh, I'm not ready to go yet. And then the height of it that morning, he wakes up and he goes, we got to go to urgent care right now. I think we're going to die. It was horrible. And then I don't even know how we got there. We were so sick.
I was hallucinating.
I don't even know how you drove.
And then when I said it to you, it was with this this passion.
Oh yeah.
It was like a movie when the scene is just like the whole time I'm thinking like I could do this. I could do this. I could do this. I can do this.
Nope.
No.
It was awful.
So last year at the same time we were sick and I was throwing up for 24 hours straight. Driving me insane. I was begging Space Jesus for death. Right? Like as if he was going to come and touch me with the kill death thing. And then everything was all right. And they laughed at me the whole time. They wanted me to get better, but they were like, oh, and the guy upstairs, I remember I kept saying, oh, the poor dude upstairs, he hears me in the other room going, oh, Jesus. I sound like a complete dummy when I'm sick, right? Like, help me. No, I'm okay. I'll be all right. Right? Like just so weird. Anyway, so this one was worse. And I called the sickness, and I hate doing this, but I'm like, every year during this time, we get smashed here.
Yeah, you especially. Last year, it was the whole month of September for you.
We had an ayahuasca session once, and Christy and Zed showed up, and I owe Jesus I said, no, you guys could stay. They thought I was joking, or I drank before them. I said, I went to answer the door, and I started throwing up, like, bad.
Yeah.
And then they were under, and I was so intense that they were coming in to check on me while they were fully under, and they were like, whoa, you're really sick, dude. And they must have been seeing me on the other side purging it.
Yeah, you were sick for
Christy freaked out.
You were throwing up for like 24 hours.
I could say this. What happened to us? How much weight did you lose? Can I ask you? You don't have to tell me how much you are.
I didn't get on the scale, but
I lost 10 straight pounds.
I had to have lost a couple of pounds because everything's loose on me now.
I can't even believe what's going on here.
It is. I can't.
Exactly.
I can't have words. It was.
We
awful.
miss you too, everyone.
We did. We missed everybody, but we didn't communicate with anyone. I mean, Frank wasn't even on Facebook for like days. Frank didn't have coffee for like 6 days in a row.
I stopped smoking my vape. I don't use it anymore.
And nothing. We were living on basically water, ginger ale, and bread for days. It was awful.
Okay, so check this out. So we're gonna just keep this live. So we talked about my grandmother when she's sick, and that she purged stuff out because she couldn't literally hold anything in anymore. So
No,
she
yeah,
went
yeah,
on like
yeah.
a dry fast, which is terrible, for 30 days because you're trying to give her liquid and she's just spitting it
Well,
up.
she couldn't eat anything, so it was almost like it was like
And
a
the whole time she was
yeah,
going,
she fasted.
so it, but you couldn't take pills, you couldn't take medication. Nobody was shooting her up with nothing. So check this out. After this occurs, my grandmother just gets up. What's up? How you doing, Frank? And we're like, what? She had full dementia. Everybody's like, oh, she's gone. They just moved her out of Cavalry, which is the last stop, hospice.
Yeah,
They brought her back
back
home.
home.
They sent her home. We're like, and it's rough and it's crazy, but I remember how clear she looked.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap, Viola, what is up with you? And she's very lucid.
We haven't even seen her in it's a solid 10 days at least.
Yeah, we're not on that. We're not.
You went to the house, you didn't even go in. You had to wait outside.
I
'cause
cannot
we're
be around
afraid
them.
to get everyone sick.
Well, doctor called me patient zero, and then he said, what you have is what people coming from the Middle East to America bring. And I'm like, what? I live around the block, literally. You go around the block, I live right there. There's no, what are you talking about, patient zero? He's like, this is terrible. Terrible. They made me wear a mask and do all. I wouldn't even get on this mic. Now, I don't think you can catch anything from us anymore. It's been,
no, not now. It's been over 10 days.
It's like 15 days now.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks. It's a solid 2 weeks.
It's a solid 2 weeks. And I wouldn't talk on the microphones. I did one night and then I sprayed my mic like it was crazy. Or it might have been on my iPad when I did it. I don't remember.
Yeah, when we did the 12 hours of meditation.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna drive towards that tonight. We got a lot to talk about because this is, yeah, we are. We're both skinnier, and I see it. It looks weird on me, but it looks good though. I'm happy. Anyway, so this purge thing happened to us, and I'm like, you know what? I couldn't eat anything.
Yeah.
Right first, that 3 days, man. All right, so I kept thinking this is going to be funny of my grandmother. And then there was the banana sitting up there. So I was thinking of Gina Gin. I know that's weird. She's a fruitarian. I wasn't. All right. Anyway, so I would see the fruit, right, and think, all right, not yet. I can't do it yet.
Can't do it. Mm-hmm.
But water, and I couldn't drink coffee. I couldn't drink anything.
We drank that. I think that's what saved us.
It tasted
we
metallic and terrible.
Terrible. Everything tasted
My
terrible.
taste buds were gone for a week, but I drank so much water.
Yeah.
That I flushed my whole system.
Oh, me too. My skin looked beautiful.
We were sweating
so much.
I can't even. I can't.
And the chills and the sweats. It was just
so much.
Very bad.
Our pores would just open, and you'd be covered, and then you'd be so hot, so
3 minutes
then
later,
freezing.
You're freezing.
Ugh.
It was awful. But anyway, we basically we fasted because we couldn't eat anything for it was. I mean, like, I know for me personally, I didn't eat anything for 48 hours. All I did was drink water because I thought I was going to die. And then we were able to eat a little here and there. But, you know, for the first week, there was very little food.
So I went, oh, hi, Reggie Cadu.
It was just
Squeaks
awful.
Okay. It was terrible. All right. But we went through that process. Yeah. Now, we did take
it was like a
medication.
Detox.
We had to. But we didn't take antibiotics. And the funny thing is, I was saying during this, I don't believe in this anymore, right?
Yeah.
I don't believe in sickness while I'm sick and throwing up. And it was crazy. I'm like, I don't believe in this no more. The other guy in me, like the big guy, the higher self, I could see him standing there like, yeah, it's just not working for us anymore, is it? And I'm like, no. It's not.
No.
And I don't want the, right? But I kept saying, and I told Andrew Shaman Sly, I'm like, I think it was as if my cells, if they were like little spheres, the sickness was in there and it was like spinning. And then where it'll never affect you again was like a small slice of the pie. And I wasn't quite near that yet, but it was going. And it started to flip and manipulate into you're getting better. And then the part where you're never going to get this again because it just doesn't exist to you. And he just came around. And I spoke to Ra. I spoke to you about this. Ra, Eye of Ra, True Frequency. I think this sickness was a purge.
Oh, I think so too.
But also,
I think so too.
I don't know, an Aikido flip, a judo flip. Someone comes in at you and gives you the disease. Man, we're gonna affect you with something that they were saying 1,000 cases of this specific flu,
a strain of the flu
They were looking at me like, what?
1,000 cases
in the U.S.
In the U.S. So the flu came out very early this year.
But it was funny. Raw had wrote on Facebook that it was the second day we were sick. I was staring at the computer like, and he goes, they released some kind of old virus back into the simulation again, as if the Antarctic ice was melting, and then those ancient viruses were coming out.
It could be. We also, because if you remember,
I'm speculating,
a couple of weeks before that, we had gotten sick, colds. Remember? And I said I felt like I never fully got over that cold.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened. And I don't know how this happens, if it turns into the flu, but I think when we got sick a couple of weeks prior to this, we never got over it.
Yeah, and
it just lingered.
So,
but I think your body needs to go through that process every now and then, really just to detox and to clear it out.
The more I found out about the flu, and we're going to talk about the doctor interaction in a minute, and how dumb doctors can be.
Yeah,
it is what it is, but it has to be talked about. But your body, first of all, this stuff is not natural to this world. It was created, right? So people are like, you know where the flu comes from? It comes from Asia. It comes from pigs in Asia. And I was like, what? So I started reading up on that, and I'm like, so it's just testing in areas, and then it gets out. Those strains that are just
different strains of
the
flu?
Yeah. So it's not like the guy next door just gets it. Like, it comes over. That's how it's explained online. So I'm just reading how these things. How is the flu brought into the existence of this world?
I believe you. I just think it's I honestly don't remember ever. No, I honestly don't remember being that sick since I was a kid.
Right. Well,
literally.
Think about sickness for a second. You go back far enough. There's when they had like that Spanish flu where all these people were just dying, like it was just the rats were carrying it and all that stuff. Okay. Prior to each town getting sick, because it was like the bubonic plague, right? It's moving town to town across the area. Okay. They would say there are beings, men in robes, standing in the field, and they were waving sticks with green like smoke coming out. And then the next day the plague would hit.
Really?
Right. So the more we think about stuff like this, snake men with the hoods, the illuminists, the dominating factors, they've always been there. They've never not been there, because it's a time war.
Right.
Okay. So the sickness was produced, and then we believe in it because you see it and you go, oh,
I could definitely
your avatar isn't able quite yet because you don't understand what's happening, so you just believe what you see. It affects you, you die.
And I could definitely see people dying from that.
Yes,
because if when I was working,
if I was
working when this happened, I would have had to continue working. I would have had to do it from home, but there was no way I could tell my job, I can't look at a computer for a week. I mean, there's just no way with the work that I did that could happen. So I could very easily see how people die from the flu.
Yes.
Just from not resting.
Thought
not
I
resting and not drinking enough water.
You animals.
It's like the circus here.
It is the truth that was, I literally thought, I was like, yo, if I feel like this, what is Mary gonna do?
Well,
the landlord's 99.
She's gonna be 99. Yeah, this month.
She's 99.
In November. We were begging her to stay away.
We were like, please don't come here.
Don't come near the door. If you need anything,
you'll
just
never make
call
it through.
on the phone. Don't come near us. We didn't even want to, Frank's mom, she dropped off food at the door, and she didn't, she couldn't even come in, because if she gets sick, then that whole house is down. So
we knew you cannot pass this, and it's almost impossible.
So
I mean, you're breathing.
We had to stay isolated basically from everyone. I mean, we even had to take Buddy for his follow-up visit. He's doing very well, by the way.
All his stitches are out.
So we had to postpone that.
Thank you for all the positive vibes and the support.
Yes, because it worked. Because we had to push his visit back a week, and we just took him Thursday Halloween
a few days ago,
and he got a clean bill of health. He actually gained a pound, and his stitches, all the stitches and the scarring is healing up very nicely.
Very nice.
So thank you for thank you everyone who helped with that. I mean, because I mean honestly, the vet was so impressed. I mean, he actually gained a pound. So I mean,
he was like, "Yo, I can't believe this is an outdoor cat."
This is an outside cat.
It is, and that's my best friend.
You know, we want to thank everyone. You know, who
they
donated.
saved his eye, his teeth.
Yeah,
he has no bad breath now, which is dull. Yeah. So I'm so thankful for that.
The medication helped that. That was
whatever
that was,
kind of was going on.
Yeah,
it just cleared. Everything got fixed.
Every single kitten got neutered and spayed. Yeah. All 7. So the last 2 that had to go did go, and now
this all happened while we were sick.
Oh yeah, it was like
we had to give up in the middle. Parker and Gandhi.
That was right before we got sick, because that was the day that's the day it went down. Yeah, it was a Saturday.
Right in the middle of us
she picked him up.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
The lady came at 6:30 in the morning to pick up the 2.
So weird.
And then she dropped them off, and we weren't feeling well. And you said, "I'm not going to do the show tonight. I'm not feeling well."
Yeah, I can't. I couldn't go live like this. I was shaking.
We woke up the next morning completely sick.
Terrible. Anyway, so wow, so intense. So,
I feels like so long ago, but so much got accomplished too.
Yes.
You know, everything for the animals got accomplished. Everything's taken care of. We even, because we were so sick, we even gave them antibiotics, because now one of them has a sore throat. 2 of them have sore throats. They can't even.
It's like we all got sick together.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah, the cats sound like me, which is weird a little bit. I go, what is that? But as I'm going through this with you, with us, my family, our family, I get this in like day 2, day 3, this thing, like I was telling Sly, I see this as like something created.
Oh yeah.
And given to us.
Weaponized.
So we weaponized. Yeah. And then we as creators, because my internal guy, after begging for death, that was this guy, Frank, was going,
the earthly, yeah.
The other guy was like, you got this, bro. I would have never put you in this position, right? But now this is never gonna work on you again. Why? Right. And I'm like, I don't believe in this.
It already happened.
And then, I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're a few days later,
recovering, yeah, getting stronger.
And I start feeling that truth, because now I've had the fast, the water. I'm thinking clear, even though it's overriding me, like the fever kind of. It starts going away, and I'm clear.
It was incidental. Yeah, that it happened.
It's almost like,
but it was like a water
the
fast.
Aikido move,
because we couldn't eat anything. I mean, and I was making rice. You know, we were
eating
bread,
spoonfuls of stuff,
spoonfuls of rice. You know, with some vegetables, and that's it.
The fast,
turned right about
me into, but there was no caffeine.
Oh, no sugar.
Nothing but water.
Water, which is funny.
Nicotine, no vape, no
nothing,
CBD, nothing. So weird.
But let me tell you.
But loaded with fresh, clean water.
But I said it to you also.
And, oh man,
your skin never looked so beautiful because you were sweating so much. My skin I was actually glowing. I mean, I looked horrible. My skin was glowing.
Yeah, I'm still coming out of it. Like I broke out.
Yeah, because of that detox. Come on, Roxy, you gotta move.
And just that sickness, but I don't feel that sickness no more. I feel good.
Not anymore.
It's like that last remnants. And I feel like my body tuned into this thing and was like, all right, so we're going to fully unleash this shit on Frank. We're going to smash Paula right in the head with it like a pie.
It was awful.
And then you guys are never going to be affected by that again. You'll be able to eat this and transmute it. And I'm like, eat it and transmute it. What does that even mean? And then I was shown
the body eating the toxins.
And then just sweating it.
And sweating it out.
All right, come here, honey.
Come on, Roxy. You can't stay here.
So I'm like, wow, this is really weird. They're like, you guys are growing. So this purge, the unintentional Aikido move against the sickness, which you don't believe in anymore, even though it was affecting you. And over generations, it has just killed so many people.
Oh, and another first for us. Never got the flu with anyone before. Not even my sister. No, we didn't get the flu at the same time. Never got the flu with anyone before.
3 days sick or something.
It was.
We don't do flu shots. We don't
3 intense days, and then it took the remaining 2 weeks to recover from that. The sweats and the shakes, but never got sick with anyone like that before. Never. And got through it with all these cats too. You have no idea.
All right.
What are you looking for?
I bacterial pneumonia. Look, I keep.
Yeah.
I just want to say this.
Really That's quick. How this started because Grandpa was so my Frank's grandfather was diagnosed with bacterial pneumonia. Now, prior to him being diagnosed, he had a very bad cold, just like we did. So now we think we all got sick at the same time.
And then it affected each one of us differently. He was older, so he wound up with pneumonia.
So now we're diligent.
Got this nasty ass flu.
We go to urgent care, right? Because the doctor, my doctor's office, I mean, the receptionist in the doctor's office says, you can't even get an appointment till next week. And I said, I don't think I'm going to be alive next week. So we went to urgent care. Now, we tried to give the doctor at urgent care as much information as we had. We wanted to let him know we were around elderly people. Frank's grandfather was just diagnosed with bacterial pneumonia.
I had looked this up, and it's on what is this? emedicinehealth.com. It's literally got the medical author, George Schiffman, MD, medical editor, Melissa Conrad, MD, medically reviewed on 9/25/2019. So it's updated all the time, right? So what are the causes? What are this? What are that? You can absolutely catch this. It's in the air. You see,
yes,
in your cup, on your face.
So now we tried to be very diligent and give the doctor at urgent care as much information as possible.
And I looked smacked. I was curled in a ball, crying.
Oh yeah,
coughing.
We had,
we have a nebulizer now.
I had 101 fever.
I had a 98, and they were acting with me the way they should have been with her.
Oh yeah.
Right. I had a chest X-ray and everything. I had to take out my nipple ring, and I was screaming, oh, I gotta take this thing out. I was losing my shit. And then I was like, do I have cancer tumors anywhere? The guy was like, what? He goes, you have a clear chest except for this shit.
You were delusional. I think that.
Well, because I saw it, and I was like, let me look at that. He's like, dude, you're clear. You just got you got the flu. And I was like, there's nothing else there. He's like, no, there's nothing else there. So I try to explain to the doctor. The doctor goes, oh, did you get your flu shot? And I'm like, nah, that stuff doesn't work. And he goes, okay, well, it works 80%, 85% of the time. And he goes into this little rant about me. And he goes, and what do you do for a living? I go, I'm a retired federal inspector. I know exactly what goes in the flu shots. Like, if there was a moment you want to wring someone's neck. Now, he says to me, wait.
We're being very polite.
I said, my grandfather, he has the bacterial pneumonia. And
we were around him for the last couple of weeks. Whatever. Yeah.
Oh, you can't catch that. You can't catch that bacterial pneumonia. You don't catch pneumonia. And I'm like, it says right in the front, it is the most highly contagious and can be spread through touch, taste, saliva, every other liquid.
Yes. It starts as a cold, and then it turns into pneumonia.
Right. So you can catch that. If he has that and coughs in your face, you won't get pneumonia, but you'll get bacteria.
Absolutely not. Now, meanwhile,
the flu shots work 85% of the time.
I was like, which I think is bullshit.
Oh, this guy's so full of nonsense.
So now they give us the paperwork. You have the flu. These are the symptoms of the flu. This is what to do when you have the flu. And on the paperwork they give us and send us home, it says bacterial pneumonia is contagious. So the doctor contradicted what he said. You're giving us paperwork that contradicts what you just said in the office. We're trying to tell you we've been around this man who has bacterial pneumonia for weeks. And we all got a cold together. So we're trying to give you as much information as we have, and you just want to make your point. And I said to Frank, just please don't argue with this man. And he did give us an antibiotic. We got Motrin, cough medicine, and an inhaler. And
I've been taking colloidal silver.
I have too.
Colloidal silver started helping a lot after like day 3 or 4, and I gave in. I took Tamiflu.
We took the Tamiflu.
Let me tell you, we caught everything in that moment where one day more, I would have been dead, I think. I don't know if I would have, but it really felt that way.
I've been begging Frank to go to a doctor since we met, and he woke up that morning. He was so scared. He was like, we have to go.
They always know better because there's a tag after their name. It's like, oh, I wear this badge and it says this, so that means I know better. Well, when was the last time you looked? Because this is updated by your peer.
Exactly. And the paperwork that you're giving out is saying, it's contradicting what you're saying.
Everything you said is just BS.
So now we're just like, thank you.
80%. Look, 85% he said. So I was like, if it works 85% of the time, everyone would do it. Like nobody would say anything because there'd be a 15% that, whatever, those are the 15%. Like there would be an excuse for it. But people would be like 85%. Yeah, no, I don't want this. Boom. It would be a weird swing. There's just, they put all the adjuvants in there. That's what's in there. That's bad. It's not the actual shot, because you could get a clean shot of a flu strain and just inoculate yourself from different strains. It's the crap they grow in there. They grow it on. They put everything from embryo. It's just so disgusting. To heavy metals.
Look, I haven't gotten the flu shot.
And who wants to argue with one of these jerk-offs?
But I haven't. I haven't gotten the flu shot since I met you. And I haven't gotten this sick ever. So this is something that I think we just needed to cycle through. But everyone was going through it. I mean, everyone was sick. Everyone was going through who was suffering from migraines, who was suffering with sickness, and just a lot of health issues now. And a lot of
one of the things as we went through this in the chaos and confusion in your body, I feel like because we turned it into a fast during, and most people do, they drink soup and stuff. I'm dead serious when I said I went into fast mode because I said I'm not going to be able to do anything. I can't do anything.
We couldn't do anything.
I couldn't smoke.
You didn't have sugar or coffee.
Nothing.
And
I've never done that. And I was like, no, I can't. I just can't. I can't do it. So I said, then I'm going to do this and I'm going to heal. So every cup of water where I'm shaking, I'm sweating it out. I'm going, greetings, water, heal me, water, help me. Heal myself, water. I respect you. I'm grateful. Let's do this.
Oh yeah, we did. We went through gallons and gallons of water every day. I mean, if you remember, you were filling them up from the filter.
Yeah, we got the
gallons of water, just drinking water. And I don't even know how that happened because of the coughing and the fever and how we even got all that water down.
Yeah,
but I think that's what
water
saved
was
us.
the only thing. And then it cleared my track. I'm telling you this just because it's the show. When I mean my track, I mean the whole track. Cleaned it. See you done through just water. To the point where you're like, I think I lost weight today and feel great, but I feel like crap. But I'm looking in the mirror going, I got abs again.
Did you weigh yourself?
I did not, but I could tell just from the pinching. That's all I got.
I could definitely
I'm sitting and I only got about 1.5 inches here instead of like 3-4 inches. So when I stand up, that just goes right down.
So we have a glass digital scale. So it's glass. And because one of the rescues, Gigi, the one that has
just one eye,
we don't want, I had to hide it because I don't want her to poke her other eye out on the digital scale, so it's like hidden. And we were trying to guess how much weight we lost, and I just have to go climb in the back of the closet and pull out the scale.
So I'll just yell this out.
No, go ahead, say it.
Wait. What symptoms when you have to repeat this for the
What symptoms?
What symptoms after taking a flu shot what symptoms after taking a flu shot did you witness within yourself which made you say, maybe I shouldn't get a flu shot? Did you notice like a
Oh
significant
yeah,
something?
I always got because I had to take the flu shot for work.
Right.
I always got I was always cramped. My body was very cramped,
Mhm.
and I felt the next couple of days like I had a really bad cold. But I know it's a dormant egg virus. It's not. I don't think it's the flu. It's like you said. It's the adjuvants
It's the
that
stuff
put
they
it. It's the
put
stuff
in
they
it.
put
It's
in
not
it.
the actual shot. Because I remember I had the giant argument with my doctor originally, and
Oh
I
yeah,
don't see
years
him no
ago.
more.
Yeah.
And I argued a point with him, and because he was like, "Oh, you need to take the H1N1," and I was like, "No, I don't want to take that." And he brought the bottle out, and then we got into an argument, and then he went to try to give it to me, and I threw like a fit, and I'm like, "Listen." He's like, "Look, I'm a doctor, and I know." And I'm like, "Well, when was the last time you read a book? You're
Or
like
went to
40
a
years.
conference or
You go
got
what?"
update.
I go, when, yeah, show me. I go, because I just saw the guy with the suitcase. Every time I went there, the guy with the suitcase was in there. And then I get free samples from that guy's
Yeah,
suitcase,
yeah, yeah.
where I used to just get a shot of penicillin in my ass cheek. And I swear, whatever I had just went away. My original baby doctor.
We do it for the cats. Remember, I tell them to give them
One
the
shot
shot.
of straight penicillin in your coolie. Whatever you have is gone. If you need something like that. So I argued this with him. So I busted my computer out and showed him. I typed in the number on the bottle, and I'm like, I'm not dumb. I'm a federal inspector for the USDA. Dink. You're showing me pictures of when you're golfing and meeting Joe Montana, and he's signing pictures for you at your little meetings on islands where they bring all the doctors, and what are you studying? Or is it the guy with the suitcase where if you give out his stuff and you get those prescriptions, you get hit with bonuses and dinners and hockey games and all kinds of stuff? He threw me out of the office. And I was like, "You're pumping poison." Like, I turned it into like a monster thing. I was like, "You're pumping poison. I can't deal with this." And you wanted to put that crap in me. He was going to put in me the one that he swore to God. He said, "I'm the doctor. You don't know because you're not the doctor." And I said, "No, I'm the federal inspector. I'm the guy that checks that stuff, you dummy." Yeah, because if it's in the food in some weird way,
I know how to look stuff up on the internet.
Like we write the standards on what you're discussing. Like our offshoot, are the pharmaceuticals and stuff, are the guys writing that big paperwork. Like, what are you, ridiculous? Like, they check with that stuff, and I sat in my office once, and everybody was eating McDonald's, and I refused to eat McDonald's. I got up.
We felt it.
We had some fine inspectors in the office, and I was just like, every single one of you is eating that. We work in a fresh food market, fresh fruit and vegetables, organics everywhere. Now, I'm not going to say I didn't eat a bunch of burgers when I was there, but it was like organic meat and stuff from the guy that had that stuff there on the market. It was never McDonald's. And I'm like, all you know what goes in that, right? There's the silicone and the silly putty, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't care." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah. You the guys working with me trying to make this better." And then you realize we're not here to make it better. We're here to make $1. That's what's up. We're here as a standard between the guys bringing the trucks of food from this warehouse to this warehouse. If something comes in that's different, it's either this guy's fault, or this guy's fault. And you go, and whatever your percentages is, screws everyone out of money. And then you get paid 100 and change to do what you have to do.
You could get a burger
every day.
You could get a burger off of any dollar menu in any fast food place. You want to buy a cup of fruit, it's almost $5. It's 4 and change to get a cup of fruit cut up.
Yeah.
Or a cup of vegetables cut up. It's almost $5. So now, what would you pick if you needed to stay full for the day?
Oh, Andrew's here. What's up, Andrew Sly? I love
you.
You
know what I mean? It's just not fair.
Yeah, it's not fair, and it's done on purpose. How come a water is really expensive sometimes, and a soda is just like 60 cents? Like,
no, it's $1. It's like $2.25. No, but the water is a lot of money.
The water is always expensive.
The water is the same price as the soda.
I go, what is that all about? How come the salad is $7 and the dirt burger with fries is $3? I'm like, you're forcing people into that pigeonhole
to make those decisions. Do I stay full? Do
right
do
now,
I stay full for the day?
So here's this. Here, you guys got to understand this. This was my baby doctor after my baby doctor that gave me the penicillin all the time. He died. Then I went to this guy for my whole life, and he's like, "Oh, since you've been in diapers and this and that," and I'm like, I don't know what you're putting in me, bro. So then we had a comeback moment like a year later. I kept telling him I don't take the flu shot because the symptom in me was that my I'd get a cut and I wouldn't heal.
You had said that. I never
I
noticed that
I
that
would
happened.
not heal properly. I couldn't fight infections. I was
Yeah.
always getting sicker.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you,
When I stopped, that train stopped.
when
Aya was like, "Thank God you stopped, lowercase g. You stopped that because this is what it was doing to you. It's programming you to think it's doing something correct, and
oh
if you believe
sure,
that, then it's what it's doing.
we,
But it's adding you into the cancer
we
industry,
felt it from
etc."
taking the Tamiflu.
Oh,
I felt the look.
everything tasted
We
like
had
metal.
Frank hasn't been on an antibiotic in years. I think the last time I was on an antibiotic was 2014 or 2015. And yeah, get your coffee. 2014 or 2015, I think, was the last time I was on an antibiotic. So I only take the medication that I need for the CP, the cerebral palsy, and it's an antispasmodic, and I take a anti-inflammatory. Um, but we took the Tamiflu because it really did help. It stopped the body aches. It stopped the body aches, which was the worst. I mean, I had black and blues all over me, and I think it was from body aches. I don't know. I don't know where else the black and blues came from. But taking the Tamiflu, we definitely felt the symptoms. It was terrible. I felt pain in my arms, pain in my joints, um,
The
tinny
taste
taste
thing
in
is the
your mouth.
worst.
It was
That's why this coffee tastes so good, because for
coffee
weeks
didn't taste
nothing
good, and
tasted.
being on
It's
that
just
medication
disgusting.
was hard because we don't like
And
to
then you
take
have to
medication.
purge the medication. We
Yes,
definitely
yes,
do.
yes, with
Um,
more water. Yeah.
but by all right, so this is my point. By purposely and with purpose doing that, something more started happening. It was crazy. All right, so we deal when you deal with the doctors. Let me just get back to this point real quick. If you decide to smash your doctor, don't be surprised. You're going to get smashed back. They're going to go down swinging most of the time. So you can be right and check them and then come to an agreement. Say, no, I don't want to take that because of the stuff that's in it. I'd appreciate this, because I did say once, just give me a shot of penicillin. I remember saying to him, there was a 7-year window where I stopped going completely after the incident, but had to go once.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, please just give me the shot of penicillin. This dude took penicillin out. It was like, you're right. Hit me with it in my coolie. And I felt great. 2 days, everything cleared up. Even my skin was smooth and soft and silky. And I felt great. My hair looked good, as I had hair at the time. And just everything cleared up, even like a toothache, just everything was gone. And then I didn't have to even go back to the doc. I literally went to urgent care just recently, and that was it. Since that stuff, I refuse, because my injury is one thing. They wouldn't bother me about my flu shot. They didn't care. Those guys, they were just checking your spine and stuff. So when you check your doctor, if you're like, hey, listen, butthole, this is what's up, and you do that, expect the hammer to come down back at you, or expect to have to get another doctor. See if you can talk to them nicely if this is something you need to do, right? If you feel like you can trust these people, because it's not that they're bad people, it's that they're just like everyone else. They're put into the system. They think they know, and they read the book 20 years ago, and then this happens, and then they just get caught up in ruts like everyone else. And then they're told, and then people are listening. I mean, geez, my grandfather was programmed from TV. They think everything on the news is real.
Everything. And what do you say?
Listen, my grandfather thought World War III was coming when that guy was like, we're gonna come take your guns. He was like, oh, I'm gonna hand everybody in this house a gun, and when they come, we're gonna shoot them in the face. And I was like, this dude's 90. So I'm like, that ain't ever gonna happen. They're not coming. If they'll test the water. If they ever went for that, forget it. I mean, and this is a good point to bring us into. We're covering things tonight, things like California, New York, Hong Kong. There's like anarchy going on, chaos within chaos.
Yeah.
I was screaming today. How does PG&E Electric in California, those people do what they did? All those people lose power.
Yeah, I don't know
The
how they
smart
get away.
meters
How
being
do you get
blamed,
away
directed
with it?
energy weapons being used, fires where you're not going to ever get back into those areas. They're like Agenda 21, I think it's called, where
Yeah, they're
they're
not letting
taking
people
the
back into
land.
their homes.
They're
Yeah.
canceling. If you have fire insurance, the insurance company's canceling your fire insurance in the middle of the fire. What? You can get away with that? Wait, it's all of these things twisting and turning all at once. They're not coming to get your guns, right? They're testing areas. If they were ever to do that, the switch would be flipped. Don't think people for 1 second would not take a stand, because what do they have? Like a quarter of a piece of percent to make you think that there's 90% of them that could just show up and do something like that? There's too many people, literally too many people. If 1% of us decide, or 3%, let's say 3% of the gun owners were like, no, and just 3%, they would destroy whatever's in front of them that came in to take. They would come to your aid. They would not allow it. That 3%. You're looking at 3% to 5% to 15% win wars. That's it right there. You're not going door to door. You implement a sonic weapon on a mass scale, you're going to see every tower come down. It's just the way it is. Everyone's been waiting. There's people in everyone's family, we all know them, that have been waiting for those ridiculous moments where they can take the paintball gun out and shoot the red light camera and just put paint all over it, right? So you're not damaging the equipment, right? You're just covering it in paint. I know. I'm not saying to do this. I'm just saying this is what's going on, because Hong Kong protests, right? They were expecting the Joker movie to turn people into like this MK Ultra. We're going to just shoot each other because we got that. None of that happened. None of that. It became the highest grossing rated R movie of all time. And now people are wearing the Joker mask to block facial recognition. You beat. Wait, so are they going crazy and breaking things? No, most of them are showing up in the Bronx on that staircase and dancing down the staircase and up the staircase. Why? Because that's what I'm going to do.
That was filmed in the Bronx?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That's right over here. That's the worst neighborhood. You know what they're doing over there, right? They're going up on the building roof, and they're throwing eggs at all the people that are coming dancing as the Joker. All the gangsters are like, yeah, they're taking advantage. It's a bad neighborhood. Bad. You should not be in that neighborhood, especially in clown makeup. Anyway, that's not my point. My point is judo flipped, right? It became, we saw the movie, and I'm not giving anything away.
I didn't like it.
I didn't really care for it.
I was disturbed by
Taxi Driver. Taxi Driver.
But people loved it. They said it's going to be a standalone movie. They're not going to make a sequel. Maybe.
They might keep that guy as the Joker. You don't know.
If he wants to stay. He said he didn't want to stay.
It made pound for pound more money than the Avengers Endgame at this point, right? And you're like, what? It made more money pound for pound.
Because it cost less money to make. So they generated more revenue. Because it cost less money to make.
So, and instead people embraced it, and they don't talk about the cop killings. The cop killings is irrelevant in that movie. There's riots, and people are like going nuts alongside the Joker. He wasn't inciting the riot technically. They started. There was already this thing happening, and then when he became that, who's the guy on the subway, in New York? Was that Getz? Right, where he shot the guys on the subway. It was like a thing like that, and then people. Because he was wearing the clown, because he was a clown. That's literally what he did for a living. He was a clown. He showed up, did clown stuff. And he took out the guys on the subway. It became this other thing. And the rioters that all this stuff was already happening, started adopting the clown makeup. So it wasn't necessarily him. And then it became him because he was the guy in the clown makeup. And he owned it, right? Okay, so the crazy story of the guy flipping. It's basically Falling Down with Michael Douglas. We all saw that. Every generation has their Michael Douglas Falling Down. Joaquin Phoenix is the Joker. It's the same story, but we're not embracing it like they want us to. We're embracing the other parts. It's a psycho world and I don't care. Look at me dance. Not hurting anyone. Right? Dance doesn't hurt no one. Wearing the makeup during facial recognition because they say you're not allowed to wear anything on your face so we can scan you and we're going to ruin your credit. We're going to take your house away. We're going to persecute
for those protesters, you. Yeah.
All right. So Hong Kong, they're singing American songs.
Yeah.
It's not going to be televised, guys. None of this is going to be televised. You're going to find it out there. You know, we're watching the Epstein Island thing. Luke Radowski. I know those guys that were on the island. I used to perform at the Truther events to the guy that just went on Epstein's Island with a camera and his two friends and just ran around looking at everything. Like, I know them personally. I know Adam Kokesh and those guys. I know all of those dudes. I know Poe, the guy that smokes weed in Philly, that's always on the magazine covers and everything. He does restaurants now in Canada. Dude, I hung out with him for years, on and off at those events. So it's not like we were like, yo. I know all of them. Payday Monsanto and all those guys. I was a hip-hop artist for 20 years. I know all of them. Crazy stuff, right? So now they're on the island. They're just like, screw this, pull up. And they got a guy to do it. And they jumped up on the island and went nuts. This is starting to occur now. Okay, so the island gets rushed. Hong Kong, the protesters are wearing makeup and the Guy Fawkes, which is really weird that where everyone wears the Guy Fawkes thing. I think they just don't do it for they do it for the flash meaning of just rebellion, rebel, not for the other definitions that are attached to it. And doing it like America style, according to them, which is kind of cool. I'm like, good, you got to do what you got to do. Now, you got fires and crazy stuff happening over in California. 1 million people now are being affected. You know, 1 million means forget it. In New York, when 9/11 happened, everyone knew someone within 2 shots that was in that building that died.
Yeah, everyone.
And there only 2,000 people died. So now 1 million people going into this.
Being displaced, yeah.
Now, how many other people does that affect? Everybody knows somebody. And within a few steps, you know someone that lost a house. I lost a house right down the block, burnt down to the ground. When I was a kid, I was in 7th grade, St. Clair's. Came home, house was burnt to the ground. Turns out there was an incident in my house. You said you lost everything in a fire?
Yeah, my grandma's house burnt down.
See? So, okay. Yeah. So, are fires, they're terrible, those events, right? Yeah. It's a complete burning cleanse.
They're game changers. Life changers, yeah. Life changers.
Yeah, it's deadly. Now, those people are going to be transplanted. They're not allowed to go back.
Displaced from their homes, yeah.
Permanently.
Yeah.
And then there's rolling blackouts permanently.
Yeah. And then the housing market is so crazy to begin with. Where are these people going? Okay,
so here's some crazy bad news. Right? California governor threatens state takeover of PG&E, right? We all know that might sound good from here. Oh, somebody's got to do something. Into the hands of the people that never really do a good job with anything. Well, if you can't do your job, why is this even an issue? What is the play here? It's a land grab. It's pretty obvious. What do? They till they fire up on the field and they what is they called? The burning system.
Oh yeah,
when you do crops.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So then it keeps the land fresh again. Mm-hmm. So they're burning this land out, and then it's fresh for them, not for you, not for me, not for Californians, for them. Whatever they're trying to do, they're trying to push you away from those sidelines in those areas. They don't want you there. Why? Why is this happening? Okay, New York City. Yesterday. Pretty sure it was yesterday. MTA.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all right, wait, I'm going to... So the MTA gets like 500 cops, right? And thousands begin to protest because they put these cops on the subways for line jumpers, right? So they're beating revenue. So they're like, well, how many people are jumping that you need 500 cops on the platforms all around New York City that you can't put 500 cops out on the street to do the right thing.
Well, what about all the people that are harassing people in the subway?
So
how about that?
One kid jumps and they catch him, right? He was caught in school. They hold him down, beat the crap out of him, and tase him. Underage kid. Now you got everyone's attention.
Mm-hmm.
Now the cops are attacking people that they're claiming jumping the line. When they're like, well, how many people are doing it? How many
offenses
that you're losing that much revenue where you're hiring 500 cops to just do this, and you realize they're just revenue generating. They're it's under 500
a month, under 500 a month. 500 people jump turnstiles, and a lot of people jump turnstiles because they don't have the money to get where they have to go, school or work or both. And don't worry about the people that are naked in the subway that are sexually harassing you or peeing on you, or don't worry about that, but worry about
or the other stuff that just goes on.
Yeah, the people that are jumping these turnstiles because they have to get to a job, and it's just nonsensical.
There's not enough people actually doing that to warrant that. So what are you doing? So this is what they did. Nobody's paying. I have video on my page right now where you could just watch thousands of people coming through the subway, just jumping the lines, going, you want to play the game? We're going to play the game.
I mean, come on.
The news isn't reporting on this at all. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Let's share the screen. Yeah, we know. Just give us 1 second so we could do this. Chrome tab. You're beginning to sweat?
Yeah.
Bang. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna show you guys so you see it. This is what it looks like.
People are helping other people try to jump turnstiles.
Hold on, I'm gonna reshare it. I'm still getting used to the system. I think it's this one. Was it this one? Let's see. There you go. Oh boy, look at them going nuts. That people just don't care anymore. They're seeing it and it's launching into something new. It's just going to be something crazy.
People are helping other people.
They're telling them.
Yeah. I mean,
do not pay.
Come on. Really. I can't take the subway anymore because there's too many people down there and people are crazy. People are just crazy. But this is what you want?
This is right here, guys. This is in our neighborhood.
I don't know. It's ridiculous. Robert Hawley, I'm wearing a t-shirt. I love it. Robert sent these? Or no?
No, that's Robert.
It is Robert.
Yes, okay. Yes. Higher frequency, baby. Speaking of Robert and them, so to combat a lot of the crazy that's going on, because for some people it's protests. Look, I'm telling you to do it with your money. If I'm going to ever tell you what to do, right, and give you a hint,
vote with your dollar.
Vote with your dollar, just like what you saw. Like, I'm not paying you the dollar. I'm not robbing you.
No,
you're robbing us. You're beating us into submission for money. You're making money. Morris Park over here just made it one lane with bike lanes and this and that. It screwed the business owners over.
It's going to. They're putting it in. It's ridiculous. You can't.
And now it's like a giant death trap of just traffic. It was voted against 96 to 2, right? And they just still went ahead and did it.
They still went ahead and did it.
They said your vote doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're
so now
in charge,
all the revenue that those storefront owners are losing because people can't park and go into a store now. Because you're not allowed to park on
$1.25 for an hour if you can get a metered space, and now there's bike lanes in the way of those spaces.
So they took the spaces away,
every right,
and you can't park.
And there's buses.
Once they're finished with it, you're not going to be able to park there. So now, if I want to go food shopping there, I can't walk far. I have a condition. I have a medical condition. What do I do?
Yeah, right. You're just all right. They're trafficking us, and then putting us like this, and then ticketing you for everything that you do, or charging you for everything that you do.
Meanwhile, literally 3 blocks down, it is like the Wild West. There are cars double parked. There are cars parked basically in the middle of the street, and there are no foot patrols and no one giving out tickets. And to get from Frank's mom's house to our house during rush hour or after school, it's 2.2 miles. It can take in the car. It could take 15 minutes to get across 3 blocks because there's no one policing it. And literally around the corner, 3 blocks down, now they made it so you can't park a car.
Wait, so the even better, I was telling you, the meter maids are there.
Mm-hmm.
The moving company pulls up because there's buildings all over the place. So they pull up in front of the building, right?
In a driveway.
Well, they were in a parking space, but because they were sticking out and everything, the guy came over and ticketed them and said, "You can't park here and do this." And the guy goes, "What are you talking about? You got to go through the garage, which is right there. It's right there.
We're only allowed to move the furniture through this one door.
Through this area, right? So I have to park here to do this because we're taking this truck and emptying it into this building." And the guy was like, "Yeah, you can't park here."
Yeah.
And he's like, "There's nowhere else to go. There's nothing."
So they just proved that they want to generate revenue.
Listen, he was screaming. They don't play around
Yeah,
here.
but meanwhile, like I said, on Williamsbridge Road, it's the Wild West. You could park your car basically anywhere you want, and you're not going to get a ticket.
That's going to change as well. But what it happen is it pushes the buses to cut down
the side streets.
The side streets when you're not supposed to have buses, and you got city buses just dipping as fast as you can down by multiple schools, and it's just one lane this way, one lane that way, one lane this way, and then they took all the one ways that would allow you escapisms out. This will save me 4 minutes if I just go this way, or 2 minutes if I go. They cut them all down. They got you circled in like a rat now. It's like a big cube rat race where you're just trapped, and they can close off 2 areas. So they're siphoning you in, building you up, charging you more,
nowhere to go.
Locking you down,
nowhere to
charging you more, locking you in. Look, yeah, that is what they're doing. They're doing it to all of us. So you can turn around and say, well, we can crush something. Well, what do you want to crush? Vote with your dollar. Stop buying stuff that's crap. Instantly put them out. Put them out. Just stop. I decide no, not today, sir. Not today, sir. You will not be taking our pod today. Right? You got to learn how to do that. Like, that's the one thing I could tell you. Do it. You don't like something? Don't buy into it at all. Don't even give it a thought in your head past, I'm not doing it. Oh, but you don't, I'm not doing it. We're not even arguing. See? It's just quiet. Nice. Right? So let them just pull the tablecloth out from them. Just pull it. Bring everything off the table. You're not doing anything wrong by doing that. You're just not buying into their bullshit at all. Well, every ad on Facebook, by the way, all the ads for all the different products, I'm just going to say this right now. You can find those products on eBay and Amazon for about 50% cheaper. People are recycling those products and putting them on there. So the ads are lying. The people are lying. The incentives are fake. The sale price is a lie. Right? Amazon just got in trouble. All the CBD had no CBD in it, and all the hemp oil had CBD in it. Tested. So you've been spending all that money on Amazon on the CBD products thinking. Now, the same thing with the vape issues that people were having, those junk vape things. Well, when you buy that crap at the corner store or off people that are not reputable and can't
answer questions,
answer questions, lock in, hone in, test it, do what you got to do. Like, everything is turning into a scam. I almost quit Facebook the other day.
Yeah, they're making the same comments in the chat room.
Yeah. So it's terrible, right? Shop around. Look for it. Save yourself the money, the time, the effort, energy. Look it up. Even the reviews on 5-star reviews are they're fake. There's like 2 real ones, and if the rest is probably just them. If you read them, it sounds like dummies are doing it, almost like a computer's popping it up in there. You guys got to start locking down and understanding. Look, I don't need any of this junk. I do need what I require. Like a shaman needs his tools. A guy on the job needs his tools. A lady in the kitchen and in the house and at work needs her tools, talent, right? So we can do what we need to do. A hip hop artist or any musician needs a microphone, or this just isn't going to work. I need we all have our thing. Get it, go for it, take it. It's yours. Okay. But the rest is nonsense. The double antibacterial, super soaking, get all the grime off you. Yeah, what's the chemical number in that? Do I really need that one, or can I just use this right here? And this works really, really good, right? Do I need to constantly eat the processed? Do I need to constantly go Coke or Pepsi or this or that? Like, do I need to be even part of that? Okay, somebody asked about my water. I have the Alexa
kind of
Pure
filter. Yeah, Alexa Pure.
I think it's the Alexa Pure.
And the one for the shower is the same too, right? Is that an Alexa Pure also?
Pro Pure. Saying that. Pro Pure. Right. Anyway, fluoride filters. When I joined Truth Frequency, one of the gifts that was given to me was the filtration system, which was really good.
Oh, from Bridgetier.
It's under $300, and honestly, it costs like $50 for those filters, and you need 2, especially in a house where you use a lot of water.
How often do we change them? Every 6 months?
Right? No, those are the shower heads are every 6 months. You flip them and you get another 6 months out of them. And these filters are 1 year, or sometimes longer than a year, depending on how much
water you drink.
Yeah. But trust me, you'd be feeling that. I got not the biggest size, the one down from that, and it is saved us. We use it to cook
every day, and Frank's constantly filling up.
I just take it right out of the sink and I pour it into the top of that, and you'll see it looks like crap in the top. Like, you got to clean those filters once in a while, and you got to clean out that top, but the bottom is pure.
It's crystal clear.
Crystal clear, delicious. It tastes normal, like what it's supposed to taste like, right? Like, there's no what is that taste there? It just it's water. It's yummy. And drinking a lot of it just makes you feel good.
Yeah, we make ice cubes with it. We cook with it. The filtered water, we keep gallons of it in the kitchen, and that's what we cook with all the time, and that's the water we drink.
And yes, we drink out of copper cups and all that cool stuff too. We do everything we can, and we clean out the shower heads too, and then we have the filters on the shower as well.
And it's so funny because we've had them for so long now that I'm used to it, because when my hair doesn't feel like it's getting clean anymore, I'd say to Frank, I think we have to turn the filter. And when he goes in and he looks at it, he says, you're right. It's clogged. But, from using the shower head, using the filtered shower head, you'll know when it's time. You'll feel it on your body. You'll know when it's time that the filter has to be changed.
Absolutely. And you know what? You're worth it, right? So here's the thing.
I mean, look, I had a beautiful rainhead shower filter in my shower.
They make them now. You can put that to the connection to that.
I know.
I was looking at that.
I know.
But then how do you fill everything up? And
I know.
It becomes another.
But we got the water filter because it's better for us, and you know what? I sacrificed my rainhead shower filter, but now Frank is saying we can have it again. But it's worth it. It really is, because you do feel the difference when you're cleaning yourself. You do feel the difference when it's time to change that filter. Your body will let you know when it's time.
Yes. And believe in your body. Trust in your body. Your body knows. It understands. It has this natural thing to wanna, just be healthy and heal itself and go through the process properly. Okay, so now we're going through these processes. We're voting with our dollar. We're upgrading. We're downloading. We're bringing in light, and we're anchoring it. We're grounding with it. Oh, like, we got a lot going on here, right? And I feel like these transformations in the purge, and then in the drinking of the fresh water, and then doing that for your body, filtering everything out, you coming out of this like hyper with a hyper advantage. As long as you, for as much as we were, was as much as we were like, no, let's go.
Yeah, push through it.
Push
we
through
tried
it.
to push
Come
through
on.
it. Yeah,
right?
It was hard, but yeah, we did.
And it puts you in a hyper state of advantage. I'm just going to let you know now, because now you're thinking clearly. Now you're straight again. You're like,
Oh yeah, today I felt
my
more
body
clear
feels good.
than I actually
My
went out with your
posture's
mother
good.
this morning. We went
Yeah.
to Michael's. We went to get grandma a couple of things that she could do in the
Listen,
bed. And I actually I was like a German shepherd. I was so happy to be outside. And then I got really tired though, but it was nice to be out and like just to get back into the normal flow of things.
Jordan scored 50 something points against the Knicks with 101 fever during a playoff game. Had one of the best games of his lives. And he was like, yo, I was delirious and just focused on when they asked him, what'd you do? He's like, I just focused on the dribbling the ball and shooting it. Like there was nothing else.
I don't know how he did that.
He said it was so painful. You could only focus on it. You could see him sweating during the game. Like, excuse me. But it turned into, you can push through. I am more. Your body will respond and let you know.
Okay, so.
Yeah, I don't know about the dentist thing, my brother. Dentists are really expensive, and I have a mouth full of silver fillings, and I know it's a problem. I'm just hoping by the time these things need to pop out, they'll just fall off, and I'll have fresh, new, light-being teeth. Because I don't know about not necessary, but I do see technology coming where they're just going to squirt some stuff in your mouth and your teeth are just going to regrow, and it's all your stuff that they're using. So
stem cells, I think. Yeah, they're
at that point everyone will have the right. And but the inside was all silver.
Me too, same thing. And I'm not paying to have it taken out. I'm not doing it. I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying for braces anymore. I'm going to be 50 years old in a couple of years. I don't care. Yeah, I really don't. I don't care.
We're funny. We minimalized, and then within the minimal, we have everything we want at maximum, right? So, what do you mean? Well, I could do a radio show from my house for one, a video show. We run FearLess from here. We run the household. Like we have everything.
We take care of a colony of cats outside.
Everything that is required.
Yeah, it's command center here.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but you build that. Okay, you need a phone. I got a brand new one, right? And I just rock it. I don't get a brand new one all the time. I just got one. It works. I stick with it until it doesn't
me too.
work
My phone
anymore.
is so old. I don't care. I'm just
right, but it's we have it. Like, what do you need to do with it?
Yeah, what do you need?
You need another computer. Yeah. We got one right there. You need the main one. We got one where you got to pay a bill. What do you need? You need a giant TV to watch Avengers.
Yeah,
we got it
right there.
What do you need? A hot girlfriend? She's right next to me.
Thank you.
Right?
I don't feel so hot today.
Well, I'm just saying, you want your family around you. Here we are.
Here it is.
Right? You want action figures? I got action figures for days. What else you want? You got every streaming movie in the world. What else do you want? You want some books? Books are good. We got books everywhere, right? I got a couple of video games. What do you need? Do you need everything?
No. You don't.
Be specific.
We had everything. We threw it all away. We threw it all and gave it all away.
Yeah. I took down like a whole bunch of clutter off the altar and then cleaned it and put it all back and said, well, I'm not putting any of this other stuff back up there, even though it represents and this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, I honestly don't need that much representation right now. I need it to be clean and clear because I need to be clean and clear because what happens if, and this is pure speculation, do not quote me on this, but what happens if the next frequency doesn't allow you to take certain things? And maybe that's why you're getting lighter, because everything's going to change.
I think it's already I think that's what this whole shift is. Everything is changing. Some people are aware of it. Some people aren't. We've been closing out issues. Other people have been closing out issues. I know a lot of members of the FearLess family going through the same thing, going through a lot of deaths in the family, illnesses, kids getting sick, hurt. There's got to be some connection. There's got to be something that ties this all in. Everyone's going through it.
Yeah. What would you need to get to your optimum timeline? Like, what does that mean to you?
Me?
No, well, yeah, you could answer that question for sure. But what does getting to the optimum timeline mean to you?
I
Like,
try to live the best life I can. I try to live within my means, and I try to be happy while I'm doing it. And that's all I can ask for. If there's food in my refrigerator and there's a blanket on my bed and I have a warm coat to put on, that's pretty much all I need right now. You know, and I know that may sound very basic and very simple. It may even sound primitive, but that's how I feel now. I mean, Frank and I, we usually dress like twins. I mean, it's gray,
white, gray, blue.
blue, gray, more gray. I said, I said in a year or two we're going to be wearing scrubs because it's just clothes are ridiculous. Like, I don't know. I worked for corporate for years. I mean, I've never. I live in yoga pants now. I mean, it's just so funny how your priorities
Yeah, like what do
change.
you need, right? Like
What do you need?
if you work with animals, I need a cage to house the animals, just in
Yeah,
case I got to pick them up and
yeah,
move. I need a
yeah.
transfer
I need
device.
food.
I need food. I need water.
Yeah.
Okay, what do I need for me? I need food,
I need
water. I
water.
got all this
Yeah.
stuff. My stuff's
Mm-hmm.
stacked. What
Yeah.
else you need? Oh, well, the copper cup. Well, if I only had 60 copper cups, then we could all drink. You need a copper cup. That's it. Your partner needs one, you get her one too. What else do you need? Oh, I need a good knife. Well, I got one good knife right here. I got a couple in the kitchen. What else do you need? I need a Megatron. Get one Megatron. That's what you need. You need an iPad. Do you really need it bad? Do you have 6 phones and then you need an iPad? Think about this for a second. Because as you start to back out of this stuff, right? And you go, oh, it refills with this more you.
Yeah.
And then you realize there's like an addiction that's being broken
Mm-hmm.
on that level as
Yeah.
well.
Well, you wanted to get me an iPad last Christmas. I said, why? We live in a one bed. There's
Like,
three
where you
rooms.
going? There's things. We have
I
things
said
in
I
every
could just
room.
use yours. I have a Kindle. He was like, well, just let me I'll buy you a new iPad. I'll buy you an iPad. And I said, Frankie, the house isn't big enough. I can use yours anytime I want. Don't spend the money. I mean, like, still, like, do you know what I mean? It's redundancy. How much do you need? Does everyone need to have the latest and greatest and the best?
Yeah. What does
If
it
that's
take
what's
for
important
you?
for you, but for me, I just don't give a shit.
Right.
I
So
really
now
don't.
you're coming from your heart, and you're like, well, what do I need? Well, I got everything I need. Well, what else would make you happy? Like one of the things when I went in front of
I
some of the
took cat
deities.
food. I told my nephew we were talking. He's in college. He was like, Christmas is coming. If people ask me, what do you want me to tell them? I said to buy cat food.
Yeah.
And he started laughing at me. And I said, Alex, I'm feeding 20. There's like 20 cats outside. I said, cat food would be helpful. And he went, really? And I said, Alex, do I lie to you? And he goes, no, you don't. Okay, I'll tell you. Like, life is so different than it was before. Really, it's just so different, so strange.
Yeah, man. It is. It is very strange. This world. I'm loving some of this stuff now.
I mean, me and Frank, we used to buy each other sweet things all the time and just buy
Okay.
each other stuff all the time. And then we were like, just,
We clean this entire place, and then I'm going to stop talking about this. We're going to take actually a little bit of a break and then come back. But okay, so I got everything I need. I'm like, okay, I got it right. I got my shaman thing. I got my hoodie. I got my headphones. Right. Anything
yeah,
happens, like
computer
I'm ready.
equipment.
I'm ready. Right. My bills are paid.
Yeah,
I got $1 in my pocket.
yeah,
Right. And I got a bone to pick with the system, and I'm arrived. Right. So let's just do this. When you start thinking in terms like that, this other crap just falls away. Right. When you're like, none of it's real. None of it's real. Listen, no matter how much you think you know about, none of it's real. As you break it down into the details, it gets worse because you go, oh, well, that's not real too. Oh, that's not real too. Oh, that's not real too. Oh, that's not real too. It doesn't end. It comes back to you. Now, what do you believe? What's up with you? Are you fake too? Are you going to be part of that? Or are you going to change right then and there and not buy into the propaganda? I literally almost quit Facebook. I was just going to close it down. I have too much attached to it. I can't take all the crap no more. It's just if I'm not, I want to watch the show that everyone wants to provide from Q and Anonymous and all these different sources and nonsense and crazy. And then whatever, I want to see that. I want to see pedophiles getting hung. I want to see these injections you're taking with the flu shots are causing cancer. News at 11. I want that's the stuff I want to see.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I want to see
the people saying I took the injection. I gave my kid the injection. My kid got sick.
And now
that's what I want to see.
You knew about it, and them going, yes, we knew, and we hid it. And you might not think right now that'll ever happen, but that's going to occur.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm hanging into social media for those reasons, and for my fearless family.
Yeah.
The connections I make that way, it's just easier. But there will be a better way. Just like there'll be a better thing than YouTube and all these other things. Everything's just going to be better.
Right.
Blockchains are going to be put into place that are going to make things safe, secure, and just faster and better.
Well, this was a prediction, Pleiadians prediction years ago that the real news was going to come through the internet. It wasn't going to come through news sites.
It's going to be dudes like Luke Rudowski who run up on Epstein's Island.
That was predicted. It was going to be
from your phone when you see it.
Disclosure, whistleblowers.
Disclosure is going to be you seeing it and going, look at this, and then your camera picking it up. That's where this is coming from. That's why you have to go within you, because once you clear all that stuff out, it'll project forward into your reality, into your universe, thus becoming reality as we lock it down and anchor in our optimum timeline.
Once you push all that extra stuff out and you try to eliminate or put a cap on the drama that you allow into your life, those messages become very clear. Like all those memes on Facebook, the joke like Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. He didn't. I don't think he did. I don't like him. I don't like what he did. I'm not saying that I'm not saying he's a great person. He didn't kill himself because I think he was a great person. He didn't kill himself because he didn't kill himself. They took him out of the game because they were afraid. And, have an opinion on it or don't, that's okay. But understand that there's another way to look at things. The government is doing underhanded and dirty things all the time. I mean, look at California, what they're doing with the canceling insurance policies.
What they're doing
How do you do that?
Michigan, did you have water yet?
Still, it's years. They had movies. They had people go down and donate money. Why do they still have a problem with the water? Why?
Erin Brockovich is still alive, running around, going, they're poisoning everything.
Why? These people can't even leave. They can't sell their homes to leave. Why is that? Why? I can't. You're going to convict people because they don't want to vaccinate their children, but they want to send them to school. You want to put them in jail for that, but you don't want to give people clean water to drink. I mean, it's proven how many children have to be sick. How many children have to get sick before they do something. As it goes deeper
into this, right? As we ride up this chain, at the top, it's going to be just a handful
of people that make those decisions,
that have been making those decisions.
And come on, really? You're the one that was elected to make these decisions. So the pharmaceutical
companies and the CDC are actually one and the same. It's a bird, and one side's one wing and one side's the other.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
April,
thank you
so
much. 12.
By the way, you went live, and that was awesome.
Right? Oh yeah, when they went live, that was great. We did the 12 hours of meditation.
And one of the things I wanted to talk about was the Fearless family and the 12 hours of creators. And the most amazing thing is watching people break the fears down.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And I kept going on a list of all the things scary in this world, or could be scary, right? Like if I had the list, it's going to be totally different from most. That public speaking is like one
of the scariest things, yeah. And you know what?
I'm like throwing down and getting raped by reptilians. No,
public
it's not even on the list.
Public speaking.
public speaking.
And it's funny because all of our Fearless family came through. They all did it. and we were so sick, and we were listening that day. And then when it was our turn to go live, I was on the couch, I was dying, and I'm like, Frank, just tell everyone I love them, like just let them know I'm still here and I'm alive. But
Yeah.
it was wonderful. I mean, they were really just going in and embracing what they had to do. It was great. I mean, a lot of people went live that day. It was awesome.
So we exactly a year ago did something called 24 Hours of Creators. And so we're doing this in the Fearless family page on Facebook. This is what ties me to Facebook, other than just connecting with family members, right? Because I'm just preaching to the choir basically on Facebook. And we our Fearless family developed something so wonderful. Our meditation sessions are very powerful, very powerful.
Oh, I felt it. I felt it each time, and other people were saying that they were feeling. Yeah, Tiffany in the Fearless
I walked
room.
in from the kitchen, and it was
and
like I
she
walked
felt it.
into a wall of heat energy that just, I hit it and I went, oh, I could feel the heat coming off the screen. Like it was crazy, but it was beautiful. And I was sick, so it was healing, and it was so intense. And I was like, this is great. Anyway, so everyone does their own version, as well as we all chime in, and we have our own ways of doing it, collectively, singularly, on our own. Robert Hawley is one of. I'm I'm grateful for all of you for being the original OGs that you guys really are, because all right, Rob's style is like a style that I dig. He actually does the mantra. He has a beat going. Just like a rapper, and he's rapping a bunch of stuff, and sometimes he's not rapping and he's just talking, and the way he's talking and his movements and his flow is totally, I don't know, it's real. It reminds me of like me hanging out, I swear, 1985 to 88, somewhere in there, where it's just real, man, and we're gonna hit you with the real, and whatever that is at that moment, bang 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 bang, right? Whereas I do more of a collective group thing with my sage and ringing the bell.
I thought it was cool the way he,
right? And then Tiff comes out.
Oh yeah, and you felt the energy. Yeah, you felt it. You felt it.
So on and on and on we go through the day, and people sign up and they do sections. And
they take a time slot.
They take a time slot, yes, and we fill it, and then everyone chimes into your version of what you think Fearless meditation is. And I never witnessed nothing like this before.
Oh, it's loving. It's very loving.
It's loving, it's caring, hyper energy.
People took it very seriously when it was their turn to.
All right, so the days leading up to it, I think it was the day before, or the day before that was a Friday. Mind you, this is dark ritual season against creators and everyone. They're all doing the rituals, and Halloween's here, and we got all the different dates in between with dark rituals. Rihanna comes out and starts teaching. She spent like an hour and 20 minutes on camera.
Oh, that was cool.
I couldn't stop watching. She was teaching every aspect of the fire and wind.
Oh,
and
the
earth,
candles and doing a ritual.
and what doing a ritual actually is. And it goes down to everything. Doing a ritual is brushing your teeth in the morning, or having eggs for breakfast, or cereal for breakfast.
No, but she broke it out so beautifully. Like she just explained every element of it. It was. I said
she was like a school teacher, and you were like, she was a school teacher. And I was like, well, she's perfect. It was perfect. And then Michael Britt, shout outs. He went live and did a bunch of jump-ins. He was like, oh, because I wasn't live for a minute. I'm like, sick, guys, like somebody's got to jump in there. When I mean it started rolling, and I was like, wow. He had a conversation about bidets, right? That were just the thought perspective on what he was discussing and how he was doing it was showing you like the things we go through daily. And he would circle it back into the Aya DMT realm and everything, like just the way he would discuss it and focus in on one thing. And that day it happened to be bidets, and I was laughing about it, but in full gnosis, I'm sitting on the toilet going, I know exactly what this guy's talking about right now. Exactly what he's saying. Why? Because we're all going through that.
Right.
And I'm like, thank the gods that we're all here together, because you just miss perspectives. No matter how much you think you know,
right.
You hear from everyone, You knew nothing. Nothing you knew. You had little bits and pieces everywhere until everyone starts coming to life. Right. And my gratitudes to everyone that's doing it. I know I'm leaving a few people out. I'm just trying to, we've been away for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you a quick question. We're gonna take a 5-minute break.
Can we do that? How do you do that?
No, don't worry about it. I got this one. Let's take a minute or two to use the restroom or whatever. Let me just bring something up here. So don't forget to check out IamWeAreFearless.com. I want you to go there and check out some of the art, graphics, t-shirts, the hats. Sneakers are awesome. We have the best sneakers. We have DMT molecule sneakers. We have raw sneakers on there. Pretty amazing stuff. And don't forget that the YouTube page itself is loaded with meditation music, favorite lists, liked videos, Fearless Mind for the Fearless People video, cryptocurrencies. I mean, everything you could imagine is there, right? And all in one place. We're trying to, and it's a little annoying to have to be everywhere, and I don't want to have to do Patreon and this and that. I just lined everything up and kind of threw it on YouTube. If YouTube starts screwing me, we'll take it. We'll go to another platform and we'll just do what we got to do, But everything is here, and we're just ready to share it. So let's share the screen. Let's see. Share the screen, if you know what I mean. Here we go. And we'll be back in 2 minutes. What is it? There we go. Mike, checker. Thank you so much for your donation.
Yes, thank you.
Oh man, I am humbled and I'm grateful.
I am
I'm
too.
thankful.
I
appreciate you guys so
I don't
much.
even have words. It's just a blessing.
Someone's crying.
Oh, that's Gigi. Come on. Why are you crying? Come on. Hurry up. Come on.
Wow.
Why's she crying? Come on. Why are you crying? You're not going outside. No. You're not going outside.
I'm on BitChute. I'm on Library. I have the MeWe. I don't pay attention to any of it because there's not enough there yet. I have for those interested. Okay, come on. In the Fearless family group. Sorry about that. I have the ayahuasca recipe, the video, and all that. I keep that. Come on. One eye does not save you from the beating from that one. Jeez. Space Jesus. I keep everything there for now. The DMT video and all that. They're randomly up in those spots on the different platforms. I don't know about Sevens just yet. I don't know yet. I don't know if I want to. If I want to go there just yet. Like I keep trying and I don't want to be on 100 platforms. I want to be on one.
Yeah.
I want to just have the platform. Yeah, Truth Frequency was good. It's nice. But we outgrew it.
We did. And this is easier, to be honest. This is like it's a lot more laxed.
Well, I get to do what I want.
Yeah.
Say what I want.
Yeah.
It's about my journey.
Yeah.
It's not about anything else. It's not about selling CBD oil and it's not about making money and it's about the story.
Really? Come on.
You're very odd tonight, my love.
She's just,
and then you have to bring everyone over to it. Like it doesn't reflect even on YouTube. I got 1,700 subscribers. If I get 500 views on a video, that's a lot right now, I guess. But we went from Truth Frequency at over 4,000.
Yeah, 3,500. Yeah.
Like the numbers are a little more staggering, but we got to go and I got to just do what I got to do.
Yeah.
And then that's what it is.
The way you want to do it.
If you want to be a part of it, I want you to be able to be a part of it without, being a scraggler, finding it out in the background. Oh, he's on Library. He's got one video. It's the ayahuasca video guy. Is that what that is? Like, it's just too scattered. I want to kind of funnel it in, but I know that YouTube at any time can choose to shut you down and do all the annoying things it does. It tells me every single time we do a video, can't monetize your video. Sorry. And then I go back and I ask for a review and they re-review it and then put it up for monetization. And I had to do that at one point. Because if not, they're branding it anyway. They're doing what they want with your stuff. So I said, why am I not just collecting what should be ours that you're just raping everyone for? Like, it's absolutely crazy. It's not about selling the product at this point. We're so past that. Right, we have stuff.
I think it was
we are fearless.
In the
That's cool.
We had a whole bunch of stuff, but now it's just like telling a story. Really,
the story is the important part, right? That's the meat and potatoes. If you choose to take it further and be like, I'm a supporter, you go check out IamWeAreFearless.com. It's a beautiful thing.
If you choose to,
everyone's a tap in on the money on that, especially the artists. I'm not the artist on anything on there. I make nothing. It's the Fearless. So every one of those artists, right, they make the money and then the rest keeps the website open. All right. So that's it. There you go. Everyone gets to eat. This is what we're trying to do here. We're trying to just uplift and bring you into that frequency of fearlessness. Right. I had something happen yesterday. I was standing outside and I had was it night? Was it yesterday or the day before? It was when it was rainy.
Rained yesterday and the day before.
Yeah, it was yesterday. And I was standing by the gate in front of my house. And I had talked about this, I think about 1.5 years ago, where I was once outside and a guy walked by and unzipped and the demon came out to attack me. and I unzipped, and this giant creator being, it was like a light being that was just so much bigger, was just standing there like a genie coming out of me with it was just excellent with blues and bright whites.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing literally shit itself and ran. And I was like, where you going? Doesn't anyone want to hug me? Right? Like, you don't want to play? And then I had these realizations like, this is our property. This is our like bubble line.
It is. But
you can't come in here and get me.
But he did want to scare
right?
you. That's
yes,
why he did
see,
that.
If you get scared, he comes in. That's like you're scared? I'm going to come and get you. It's almost like when a mouse moves by a cat, the cat can't help itself. It has to go to attack it. You can't just let it walk away for whatever reason, right? You can't just leave it alone. No, I can't. I just got to do it.
Right.
So having that moment, I had a moment where I was standing there and I could have swore it had to be 15 feet shadow. It looked like Anubis, but it wasn't Anubis.
This was the other night.
And just moved along the sidewalk by the bushes. There's like a long fence, the bushes, and then boom, it comes in. You go in like 3-4 feet, and it's my gate. And I was standing right there. And I'm like, what is that? And I thought for a second, is that thing coming right at me? And it sure shit was moving, came right up to the fence line and just stood there and looked at me. And I was like,
because that's where the bubble starts. The protection.
Oh, I'm just gonna go in the house. I was frightened for 1 second, and then I stopped and I went.
Together.
I took a deep breath, and I was like, "Wait a second," because I had that rush of fear that you get from that, right? And I was like, I seen worse than a stupid shadow, and I turned around and I says, "I got nothing to fear. I'm the infinite creator," and it looked at me, and I was like, "You're hiding in a shadow. You're literally hiding in a shadow." In a shell of some kind that I can't tell who it is, and you're trying to scare me on my property. I'm caretaking on mother, and you're gonna run up and think that you're gonna pull something off.
It doesn't work like that.
Over on me here. You must want to get smacked attacking the Sorcerer Supreme inside of his own area. Like you got to be out of your Vulcan mind, right? So they go for it though.
Love it. Thank you.
Free Energy Mobile, thank you so much. Sending love. So they try to get you into that lower vibration, like
fear spiral, yeah.
And then you're like, I told Paula there was a fight or flight instantly, and I went for the moving, and then but all I did was turn around.
Because you saw the bubble. That's where our protection
And I'm
starts.
like, wait a second. This is... All right, so let me get this straight. So if I run, because I'm scared, right? We're going to run into the house, right? Okay, now it's me and you.
Yeah,
so I just ran, and that thing's going to come in here, and I'm going to drag it in here to her.
Right.
And my cats and my family.
Right.
You're out of your mind. You're out of your... See, I'm getting like, no. It's a will of your mind and your ability to shut that crap down. So it's literally, that's the ability to shut that.
Because every war is won or lost in your head. Illness, relationships, getting through your everyday life. You've already won or lost in your head, and that's how it is. So if Frank would have hightailed it in to the house and been scared,
it gets onto the property
and then
comes
told
in.
me, and I got scared, and now it has 2 people to eat off of. That's not allowed here. We have a protection bubble, and that's why he stood at the front gate, because he's not allowed to come in.
Yeah, but they'll come right up to the gate and do this.
Yeah.
And they'll get right in your thing, and you'll go, you can't be here. They'll go, I'm right here. What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
What's up? Look, and it's like, yo, man, you can't stare at me like that. Get out of here. And it's like, and I'm like, well, okay, maybe is this a test, or are we just in the the cage open and everyone's floating around together now?
If they could scare you.
Ah, okay. So see now, okay, this will get into what I was saying. The walls are separating between dimensions, frequencies. There's barriers
that are lifting. Yeah.
They're just lifted. When that happens, there's like this cleaning out and clearing out and uplifting, almost like through a blowhole. right? On a wet, like a spout.
But that's why I think everyone
It
is going
opens,
through something similar.
and even the darkest spot in the spout,
Is now
you
lit
can
up.
see
Mhm.
down there. Oh, look what's coming out. Okay. And then it's like a great cleaning, a cleansing, right? But before that, because you're the great cleaner cleanser, by the way, the big transmuter is us grounding into earth and transmuting the energy and healing ourselves and our ancestors, and we'll get into that in a minute. Because as you heal them, you heal yourself, they get healed, and the mistakes that they went through, they get to go left instead of right, or they get to go up instead of down.
Mhm.
They get the opportunity to fix, and you give them the freedom of the opportunity, and it succeeds. So where they died, they did not die. They won't die again. They get to continue because it's fractalized. No matter how you want to look, you're whole, but we're still fractalized into the now ball with everything out there. And then when you come online, it's going to be you fully integrated with everything, but there's lines shooting out into everything, and you're just reading it. You're connected to everything. And there's going to be just those that understand that you're connected to everything and that there's just one major thing and we're all connected in this matrix. And those that just decide, no, that's not true. And that's it.
Right.
That's it.
And you operate as a sovereign being, and that's okay too. But
it's fine, whatever your choice is.
When they say all you have to do is be kind, because we all are connected. Okay? So your kindness is not only impacting you and the person that you're being kind to.
That's the
it's
anchoring
actually
the light.
helping the environment.
Yeah.
It's helping the energy. It's helping the planet. Yeah, the universe.
Crappy energy out.
It is. It's pushing it out because there's nothing allowed there but kindness.
Yeah.
And that's why these
let me just sprinkle some
distractions
of that
on Facebook can be so harming. Like the disrespect that Americans are showing, actually all people are showing this current president. You don't like him? Too bad. He's our president. He was voted in legally. He's doing the best he can for reasons that people will never understand. It's to save the planet, to save the universe. He's not a politician.
We don't talk about this often.
I am not
because we don't want to hear any backlash. We just don't care.
I don't talk politics.
But he's a light being.
And he's a light being. Why are people allowed to disrespect the president? That never happened before.
No, it's a different kind of disrespect.
In
it's
the
like
history,
deep disrespect
of the presidency, I don't think there was a president that was disrespected more.
But then again, when you shake the tree,
right,
you're going to be the hated guy.
Yes, and a lot of what is happening is a big distraction.
A lot of
this for other things that are happening.
Play.
Yes.
It's a chess game. Their move, our move. Their move, our move. And it's those of this.
Yes.
And those of that. And that's it. There is no, it's those of, Paula would say this. I'm going to quote Paula. You come from a place of fear. You come from a place of love. And that's it. So you get, it's a binary, 1 or 0. Is it fear? Is it love? Right? Like what is it?
What side do you want?
Wait.
Right. What side do you want?
Because it's just one choice or the other. I'm going to look at this way or that way. Then it breaks into details. And as the details break down, you're making those individual choices on those levels. So it's just 1 0, 1 0, 1 0, 1 0. And those 1 zeros make you up. Inside the matrix. This is not a simulation. Get that shit out of your head right now. I'm going to tell you right now, you're in a hologram and there are simulations being run within the hologram. So you can go into a simulation, simulation, but you're not in a simulation, but you're the free will guy inside, and they're making you believe you're in a simulation. Don't get caught up in the nonsense. You're here to do something important, right? Activate whatever that is.
Whatever it is. Seriously.
I was going to say it's kindness. It's empathy towards fellow man, love for yourself, and love for others. It's the choice of going, I'm not afraid of that.
I'm not my story. I'm not all the things that have happened to me. I'm more than that. I'm not what people think of me. I'm more than that. I am what I want to be in my head and in my heart. You know, we get a chance every day to do something different. Every morning when you wake up, you're faced with choices. From the moment you wake up, you're faced with choices. And, it can be exactly the same as it was yesterday, or it can be completely different because everything is won or lost in your head. And that's just how it is. Anything that's thrown at you. Frank had an opportunity to say, that entity scares me. I'm going inside and I'm going to be afraid. But he didn't want to bring that illness into the house.
I was not going.
He didn't want to
that.
bring his fear into the house and then incite fear.
I'm like, the second thought I had was, I've stood up against the white reptilian guys.
Yeah.
They are just massively dominating, and it's frightening. One of them, I tell the story all the time. 12 in the afternoon, I was outside meditating just like 2 years ago. He just ran up to me from the street, jumped over the fence, and went for it. I said, "Oh, I guess I'm dead." That's how fast it happened. I said, "Oh, I'm dead." He reached into me, and then he stopped. And then the light, noticed there was a light on him, and he went, "Oh no." And boom, he was pulled back, and they were like, "Nah, nah, nah, nah. You don't get to run out in the middle of the afternoon and attack this guy."
Rules
and
of
I'm like, "That
engagement,
was
you're not
real."
allowed. Yeah.
Like that was soaked
real.
with sweat, shaking.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, "Wait a second, that was real." And I met Space Jesus right after. I picked Buddy up, and I was like, "Well, I guess that was it. We almost died right there, big guy." Like, there's no chance of winning against that, none. But I stood there and was like, "Whatever, well, let's go." I don't know what, and it changed the dynamic of me scrambling and running. And listen, I was with a bunch of people when we first saw the reptilians. One guy threw up, ran, and hit his face in the doorway because he was so frightened. He didn't run into the doorway. He ran into
the door jam.
Yeah, the panel. And I mean, he smashed his face. And I'm like, he was like, "Oh, where do we go?" And I'm like, where you going? You gonna run from that? There's 7 of them. At least they just walked through the window. I don't know. You're gonna run though? Like, you want that chasing you down the hall, or are you gonna just stand here and be like, "No, no, 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 we gotta talk"? They were like, "Well, you do that. Yeah, that's what you do, right? You're the shaman." And I'm like, "Right. I guess I'll do that then." I walked right up to them, and I was like,
but you see it too.
Was shaking, like, and I was like, like, what do you do? What do you do? No, I'm choosing to take a stand now. I'm done with running. I have nothing to be afraid of, nothing, and I don't need your permission, and you don't need that either. Especially if it comes to you, self-love, self-care, care for the planet, care for the your personal universe environment. That doesn't mean go kick a kid on the corner that's protesting. It means mind your business and worry about your stuff in here, right? And then once you're clear in here, you can make from the observation deck from a clear vantage point, better, clear decisions, right? It's just easier to do what you got to do. How many times do you have to just in our lives, do you have to face the fear? Like April and Steve went live. They had to face the fear. They were visibly at first
and she was the
a little worried. And I'm like, "What are they worried about? They're perfect. Yeah. You're perfect in every way. Both of you.
What do you have to worry about?" Yeah, it does.
And then it loosened up. It loosened up, and then like it's nothing. I'm right here. Hey, don't you see me? Look, I'm on camera too. I'm doing crazy shit. Right. I did a little Josh right there. Shout out to you, the magician. But that's what it takes. Pushing through. Now, what other situations were that? Changing a tire, fixing a light, missing the bus. I mean, just all weird, different stuff that gets you like you got to face this down and just, all right, there's got to be something out of this I got to learn. Let's not re-loop it over and over again. I choose.
Show me what I need to see.
Yeah, I want to see it from here, from the high vantage point, so I can really get the perspective. All right, so the walls are separating. Everything's coming down. We're all in here together now. So this is when discernment is key, because everything is bullshit. You don't know what's real. You're real. That's it. That's what you know. You are worthy. Listen, if it comes down to something where you're presented with something, a situation, a being, a presence, a consciousness, and you, for some strange reason, don't feel yourself worthy, they're just going to go, or your inner guy is going to go, okay, you saying you're not worthy, so we're just going to put you back over here.
Yeah, we're gonna give you scenarios
to keep
where you won't be
where
worthy.
you won't be worthy. So you'll never be able to lift the hammer
Mm-mm.
because you said so.
Yeah.
Why would you think you're not worthy?
You
Because
declared
what?
it. You declared it.
What? That's a spell cast.
Mm-hmm.
Know what you're doing in this place. Our words are spell casting, right? So if you're like, well, I'm a piece of trash. Oh, well, guess what? The universe is going to present trashy situations for your trashy ash to sit in trash and smell like trash, right? So, but knowing that, you can avoid the pitfalls by going, of course I'm worth it. Party didn't even start till I show up. No hubris. You can just be like internally, or it's my party, right? You can do that. You can have a fun, good time with it. You could dance, you could sing internally, you could just say it. I'm in. I do this whole greeting every day. They told me today, greetings, ancestors. Don't say another word.
Covers everything.
And I'm like, but what about the birds and the bees and the greens and all the things in between? I greet them with the love and the light. Greetings, ancestors.
Try it. And then you try
it's all connected. And then I was like, all right, okay, greeting ancestors. Well, I know these people personally. So space gorillas, greetings to you. Mantis beings are no, that's all you. Greetings, ancestors. Well, what about Anubis and Toth and my mother? And they're like, your mother.
Library, it's the same thing.
The living library. Ayahuasca. All right, so I went, greetings. I always say this every day. I go, greetings, mushrooms. And they were like, if anyone in this entire thing is your ancestor, that would be us. And I'm like, you're right. I learned a whole thing under mushrooms that we're literally them growing. We've grew into this position in the DNA manipulation. It's us. It's them. Their neural pathways. Can ayahuasca grow your brain cells? And we said this from day one. Remember the first time we were together on camera?
The neural pathways.
You regrow neural pathways. All I had to do was go under, and she pulled me out of my body and said, hey, look. And they fixed my head. The big finger came down and said there was like a spark of this isn't working.
And what that means is if you've had a memory of being bitten by a dog when you were a child, and now you're afraid of dogs because that it repairs that pathway and says you don't have to be afraid.
It takes the old
anymore.
Highway that's cracked.
Right.
You get flats
and it repairs it. So now.
And then branches it into every direction.
Right. So you can see it all the way around because we're only looking at what is happening to us from one perspective. And this clears that. So you can see it from every perspective. You can realize that the way you think it was meant is not even the way it was meant because it does. What was the meeting like with Space Jesus?
I met Space, and I call him Space Jesus because I won't do the Jesus thing because of my dad and born agains and all that stuff. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead. I was done.
Oh,
I'm just saying that's
you're really pretty.
Oh, thank you. I almost look normal, back to normal.
Okay, so after that reptilian incident, I grabbed the cat, my cat buddy, the one that got attacked. And I was he loves to be held, or used to at least when he was smaller, and I was holding him. I was like rubbing him. I'm like, I love you. Like, when Squeak died, my original cat, that was mine, my first. Buddy was the cat that I said, oh, you can be my new best friend. I was against new best friends after that because I didn't want to lose another one. Anyway, so that's the internal that happened. The reptilian incident into me picking the cat up, going, well, we survived. I love you. You're my best friend.
Yeah, we survived that.
I love you so much. I was petting him and he was purring. And then it started to sound like, it's funny. I did the show like the next day or later that day when this happened, the first incident. The birds sounded like they were singing, like to me directly, like talking, like singing this poetry that was beautiful. I can't explain it. And I looked over and he was standing on the other side of my fence, right where the bubble ends. And I just looked. He looked like hippie Jesus, just the way you would think, except his robe looked like something out of Star Trek. It didn't look. He wasn't in sandals and stuff like that. He was dressed like something out of Star Trek. That's what it looked like to me. And he was glowing, but it was like this, like the glow was just coming out like that. And I said, you can't be serious. I was like, Space Jesus? Like, you look like you're on a spaceship. And I saw, he was like, who do you think just got rid of this thing? He's like, you still, anyway, invite, if you want to talk, invite me. I invited him into the fence line, and he just came through. So all I said was, okay, come in. And I was holding the cat. He was purring, the birds were chirping. And he, listen, people don't want to believe this stuff, but it's okay. But this is the experience I had. He literally said, we're on the ship right there. It was a Federation ship. I said, Star Trek. He looked right at me like, you know me. You all know me. And we joked around a little bit. And he was like, you have to let go of the religion. All these stories are fake. Don't even. But I, as a conscious being that's been here before, yes, I'm real. Am I the son? Yeah. Historically, am I the son of God? No more than you are, which makes you the son of the son. And this is the joke that Aaron and I have. Shout outs to Aaron. Where the son, you're like, yo, it's me, the son. It's like, well, I'm the son. You the son? What's up, son? Son, it's me, son, the son. It's me, the sun. Well, what is the sun? Well, it's a star. What are you? You always want to shine like a star. Why? Because you're a sun. You're literally the sun, and you're the moon and everything else. You're everything. But the sun, the pumping energy of that, whatever frequency that is, the Om in this place, that's you. It's you, the creator. The only one that could hold that and have that gnosis. The reptilians can't do that. It's the bodysuit. It's whatever they're wearing. Whatever that is, doesn't allow the thought, even though we're all still one. No, you're the creator. The human outfit was built to evolve into hold the creator, the all. How do you trick Source into coming into this outfit and then trapping it? How do you do that? Right? He already knows. It's already known, right? You're not playing one over on the source of all things. Even if that's just part of the reality matrix here, you're still not going to pull it over. It's reading your consciousness. It is the everything that makes up the all of all. But then a piece of that is you, which you're given the free will, which is a piece of the all, means you're still the all. You're not like a photocopy. You're literally the all. So when I say I'm prime creator, so are you. But you have to have the knowledge of that as the creator. Oh, well, we co-create. Yeah, I'm speaking right now, so it's the creator. When you speak, you're creating, right? And when we come together, yeah, we're co-creating, but it's me, prime creator. There's only one. It's all of us. One. I believe in that. 1,000,000,000%, balls to bones. No, you're not going to get me to think differently. Why? Because I've seen it over and over again, and I feel it in my heart. And only that way will we expand into this new realm of things. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, Space Jesus is like, well, that's what I did. But check it out. We've never not been here. We've been here the whole time. You've been up on the ship. You see what they did. Where do you think that light came from? Do you think that light was God? Was that me? And I just stopped the reptilian on your lawn? No, that wasn't me. That's the ship. Look, it's right there. And I looked up, it was right there, right over the house. And I was like, that's huge. It is Star Trek. And he was like, it is like Star Trek. All right. So just to cancel out of that now, the second time I met him, I was outside again on ayahuasca, and we were having a conversation. He just showed up, and I started talking, and he says, he was telling me I have to let something go. And he was sitting with children, and I was looking. I thought that was weird. There was a couple of adult-looking beings. They were like light beings with him. But the children, one was an ET, straight. Like, I was like, oh, this kid's an ET. But they were all cool. They were like sitting in the background watching me. And I said, oh, what's up? And I went over to give him the Spartacus arm shake. Like, yeah, Space Jesus. And I said, wouldn't it have been cool in a weird way if I was one of the apostles or something back in that now moment? And we were on that journey together, and that's how we actually know each other, because then, you know, this would make it so much more interesting. And he was like, nah, that's not what happened at all. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he goes, well, you're the guy that stabbed me. And he grabbed my arm, and I was like, I couldn't let go. I was like, get off me. I don't want to see this. And they showed him carrying a beam, and he had a crown on and everything. It was just what you would think. He was skinny. He was all messed up. And he was barely, this beam was so big. I was like, what the? And I was this little skinny, scrawny guy wearing the dickhead helmet. Right. And I went like, eh. And I jump out, and I had like this little thing, and I stabbed him in his stomach, and I jumped back into the crowd, and I was like, yeah. And I was just shouting nasty stuff. And Frank version jumped in front of this guy and was like, what are you doing? Don't you dare. And I fixed that fractal in the moment. I stopped it like in that moment, had to watch it 40,000 times from every direction and perspective. I'm like, what are you doing to me? Why are you showing me this? And he's like, you have to get over it. This is part of the fractal. Just
that contract. Yeah.
The contract's up. Yeah. Just you forgive yourself. I go, yeah. I'm sorry, bro. I don't want to do that to you. I don't want to do that to me. But just like when I was showing my fractal where I was murdering people, I was on horseback with a whole crew, and we were like burning people and cutting them in front of their parents. I had to go to that guy and stop that. I like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, who is that? That son of a bitch. And I ran over, and it was me looking at me, and he was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I'm like, oh, you put that sword down right now. I'm going to jam it up your ass. And they were like, no, you can't do that. You can't jam the sword up his ass. You got to hug him and tell him it's okay.
Yeah.
You got to hug him and tell him it's okay. That's it. No, see, here's the thing with the Jesus thing. Never wanted not a goddamn thing after that. Nothing. This was like a dude that, okay, one of the things I said to him when it was all over is, I would totally smoke pot with you. And he goes, so would I. I would smoke pot with you too. Straight up. There was nothing like, now you follow me. There was none of that. It was like Paula and I hanging out and her giving me advice. And then there's nothing different from that incident to what Paula and I go through if we drank ayahuasca together and we have a moment that we share and we're like, holy shit, look at that. There's a space gorilla in the living room. Okay. There's a tiger.
It's all those shared moments.
Shared moment, right?
So all of those shared moments that give us insight into what
I went through that with the angel, right? Yeah. Wait, when the angel,
your mother heard that.
Your God sends you here. It's like, your God, what? What are you talking about? And I'm like, God sent you here. You sent me.
You asked.
You're
here I am.
Prime creator. Why would you think anything less? And then showed me where he was from. I say he was in he voice. Spoke for 2.5 hours with an angel under ayahuasca on my back porch. My mother on the next floor had a window open, heard the whole thing. The next day confronted me.
And she said,
your friend has the most beautiful voice. I don't know who that is, but that was the craziest conversation I've ever heard. And you guys were just yapping for 2 hours. And I'm like, yeah, I was outside with an angel. He came through the awning. And I was like, what is this? And it was a light being. It's just a light being, and it looked like light. I can't explain it. It's just made of light. So the wings weren't feathered wings and all that. And I try to, what are you doing here? Is God sending you? Is it Anu? Is it this character? Is it that character? I'll smash anyone. And they were like, time out. None of that garbage is anywhere relevant, right? So it's discernment.
Yeah.
When you meet these things, and it's like,
yeah,
you sent me to be here at this time, at this moment. If you drank the ayahuasca, I have to greet you because you keep saying angels aren't real, but I'm standing right here. Now what? Now, when you meet Archangel Michael and you're like, well, archangels are archons, and then you meet the archon Archangel Michael, and then you meet Archangel Michael. Two completely different things. One's a phony fakery. The other one is this character. He's not religious. He looks like Anunnaki. He looks like me if I had hair and it was kind of really good looking, big. He had wraps around his friggin' hands. I was like, you look like the way they draw Hawkman in the comics, like the perfect dude. And he's like, right. What is that? I said, I don't know. That thing came out, and they were these Anunnaki guys over here were like, there's your Archangel Michael, talk to him. And I'm like, that's not Michael. That's not my brother. My brother in arms. That's not him. Everyone thinks it's that we're doing this AI dance. I'm the one calling the AI out and shutting it down and shutting down its mimics, transmuting that shit, ripping out tentacles. I'm the one doing that. We've had the tentacles fly through this apartment. I've been slammed in front of guests when we drink ayahuasca and sit on the couch. Everybody be like, hey, what's going on? Blah, right down your throat, tentacle dick. Throw them to the floor. Let's see how you handle yourself now. And everyone had to act appropriate, whatever that meant at the time. And we handled the situation. None of us were taken over. And we saw the takeover. We saw what they were doing. We repel it. We are like the penicillin to the infection. Don't get yourself mixed up in this place. We know who we are. Do you know who you are? Because if you do, you'll know who we are. And that's how we roll, right? That was pretty sexy, right?
It was.
I've been going through, I don't know, we've been going through this together. Let me re-preference. So, Paulie, I noticed in the details this week that something came up again, our loop.
Oh, yeah.
And
okay.
So I kept noticing this loop coming up and these things happening. And it was like a hatred for people that have done wrong against me, or I did things and things didn't work. And then my dad, and then this over here, but it always had hate attached to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This hate, like, I hate you. And I was like, ew.
And it was coming up this week. It happened to me.
I don't like that.
And yeah, it was very strange.
What did these people do to you to hurt you so bad, bro?
I don't think it's what they did. I think it's, now it's what you allowed. And that's what hurts.
And it would keep looping and repeating, showing me the things in life. I forgot about this stuff. I don't want to think about this no more.
Mm-hmm.
I let that
go.
Yeah,
but it's coming up. Yeah.
New perspective being shown to me again.
But I think that's what this November is. I think it's like there's going to be a lot of closure coming for a lot of people on a lot of areas.
I said
in a lot of areas.
I have friends that it's still being revealed that really aren't my friends.
Yeah.
Right?
And I've been going through something similar too.
So
proof once again that these people were not really your friends.
We lived through the truth frequency era, and prior to that, if you knew me, you'd know Heist Click. And so time after time, people become friends, and then something happens, and nobody's friends. Everyone hates everyone, but it's because you did something nasty. But I'm never the one doing the nasty. It's always the other person. And then I feel, Paul, you said it today, completely betrayed.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Completely betrayed. And it's like
then I'm like, so every friend, every group of friends, every situation that I've ever been part of, I've been betrayed. There's been a hard Judas in my house time after time. And then all of a sudden they try to take it all away.
Shape or form.
Yeah. And it's the same thing. And I'm like, why are you repeating? Why this betrayal so deep? And then I said, Paula. She said, it's betrayal, Frank. And then I go, wait. And then you were going through.
I was going through it. My friend sent me a text about another friend, and I was like, why is all of this coming up now?
Why?
And it's not even, we're not even the center of it. It's happening to other people, but it's still closure for us. And it's so strange. And, I mean, Frank and I met later in life, and, the older you get, there aren't a lot of firsts. Because you've done them all with other people. But for us, I mean, it just keeps reinforcing that we really are supposed to be together, because we can't tolerate the nonsense.
We started something fresh and had many first times.
Left all the ego out of it and all of the preconceived notion out of it. And just let this thing be what it was going to be.
Yes, what's truly meant to be.
And I don't think people.
And I'm like, why am I?
I don't think people
Dad. I hate on this. What you did to me. I hate. And I'm like,
I don't think people are comfortable
with you in that situation.
Letting that happen.
And then you were saying you're no good and this and that, and I'm going, I hate you. I don't want to hate. Okay, what do I got to see this again for? And this is why it came up, the loop. It is a loop.
It is a loop.
It's a cycle of
it
some
is
kind.
a loop. It's a cycle that's going to come to an end. Like your father's wife came to you.
Yes,
in
that
your
was
sleep. That was completely unexpected. I have a feeling that's not going to end.
Well, she's passing and going through some rough. They're going through a rough time. I just know through the grapevine, and then
Right.
boom, she's there, and I'm like, I don't want your apology, but you also don't thank you, but no thank you.
Yeah, but no thank you.
I don't
Just
hate you.
Stay where you are. Stay
You're
away.
not allowed to look now. You didn't
you
want
didn't
it.
want to be a part of my life before. You will not
On the
view
other side,
into my life now.
You get no, and I couldn't get rid of her for anything. I was like, she's in the house with me. I woke up. I got up. I was like, oh, I took a shower, jumped in the shower because I was hallucinating at one point.
Oh, from the fever, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, and this was bringing me to another loop, which wasn't a loop. It's a cycle, and I think the cycle is finishing. I think Paul is correct.
I think it's finishing too, because I think it's happening to a lot of people. How many fearless friends and family have recently lost people? Or people were injured or put into the hospital because of freak accidents. There has to be a commonality or a reason this is happening, because I think a lot of these people have to put these things to rest, to bed, because it's time. The cycles are closing.
Break this shit down and get rid of it.
2020 is going to be a very critical year for us. We're facing political issues. We're facing financial issues. We are going into a recession.
We're already over our heads.
The government keeps printing money. You just can't. We all know what. I mean, we all know. We've all been through this a few times now. We all know what's going to happen.
The more you think it's the more things change, the more it stays the same.
It happens.
The carpet gets pulled at one point.
Yeah, and
everyone gets screwed.
Happened. We got through it. 08, 09. It was hard. A lot of people didn't even realize it happened because they weren't directly impacted by it, or they didn't realize they were directly. Like, I was talking to Frank, and Frank was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Meanwhile, I mean, I woke up one morning. I had a certain amount of money in my 401k. I woke up the very next morning and I had 50% less money. So, I mean, this is where we're going again. And
somebody said the thing is that the national debt is $27 trillion. I'm like, you might as well make it a quadrillion dillion dollars times a bazillion billion times pineapple.
And people are worried about people opening Bitcoin accounts. It's like,
how about you go eat a giant dick? That ain't never get. You're just making up numbers now. How fucking stupid is that?
But this is where we're going. So, if you're going to be shocked and surprised by it, know now this is where we're going. So do what you can to prepare. Whatever you think that is. Like I told Frank, like, I don't understand why people don't see the signs. And like,
well, they see them and they choose not to do nothing because it's not going to affect me unless it's at my front door. Well,
by the time
pineapple
it's at but by the time it's at your front door, it's a little bit too late. You really do. I love her. You really do. You really do have to see what's coming, because what's coming may not be pretty. 2020 is going to be a very critical year, and we need to be prepared. Yeah. Politically, it's going to be a nightmare.
I don't even pay attention to that. I just got to get right with myself.
Look,
make sure
but everybody has an opinion one way or another. And even if you don't want to share an opinion, you get sucked into an opinion. You get pushed on one side or the other. Financially, it's going to be a nightmare. We need to prepare. We need to realize and prioritize
red blood.
What's important.
Right, get on the same page.
And I said to Frank, I said, be grateful that we got the flu when we did. Because the likelihood of us getting the flu twice in one season is a big deal. So be grateful that it happened when it did. It could have been snowing. It could have been much colder. We could have been stuck in the house and not been able to get out. I mean, we have to. I mean, there's a lot of things going on personally with us. We have to be ready for what may or may not be coming.
Right. And in the meantime, you're upgrading and you're leveling up in your own ways. So it's already difficult. Yeah. It's how you choose to look at this now.
So you have to find a way to get through it.
You could sing songs while you're washing the dishes, or you could keep telling yourself how much your life sucks. right? And see which one gets you further. Science it. Do it for yourself. Why? Because you're worthy.
You're worth it.
The only reason why you say you're not worth it is when you say you're not worth it. That's it. I'm not worthy. Well, then you're not worthy. Sorry. Nothing I can do. And I've given up on the let's save each other and all that. You need to save yourself now. You got the information. You got the heart. You got the cojones. What are you waiting for?
Do what you gotta do.
Do what you gotta do. Right?
Do what you gotta do. Clean your own house.
Sometimes it's just whistling while you work, man. It's one baby step after another.
It is a baby step. Clean your own mess.
Pat yourself on the back and say, I love you.
If you have too much drama, then you don't create more drama. You get through the shit that you already have, because the shit that you already have is probably more than enough. Just, we got to get through it.
Yeah. And check this out. So during this, right now, I'm sick. I feel like I'm dying. And then, and I wrote this down, seeing my death. This happened for days.
Oh, yeah. This
over and over and over. Every choice I make, I die. So Frank drinks the water, chokes to death. Frank plugs in the microphone, the water falls over, gets electrocuted. It was like every other decision, or every decision I make, I would see the worst in it. And I'm like, oh man, I'm just going to the bathroom. I slip and fall, break your neck.
But I think that was...
You pee on the cat jumps up, hits you in the face, you slip backwards, you fall into the litter, choke on cat shit.
Yeah, but I think that was you,
what is going on?
Closing the fractals, bringing back your fractals, closing out
So check it out. So now, if we've advanced past healing and timelines and this, we're optimum, you still are making choices as you go, and they're like these waves in the water as you're driving through with the boat, and it has this. You got to keep those waves still fixed, right? So you witness, if you're aware, every choice, every direction. So the thing you have to transmute is the scary part. So it'd be the death, the violent act, the thing that you fall short on and you feel unsuccessful, whatever it is. And you heal that in the now moment, like that. But you're watching your death, and you're like, no, I'm not going to die. I just drank this. I didn't die. Right. I didn't go to sleep and have a heart attack in my sleep. I didn't slip in the shower. I didn't step on the cat. Cat didn't fall. Frank didn't choke on the cat. It didn't happen.
Right.
But it would kick off and then stick my finger in the electric socket by accident, turn the light, like stupid stuff. It was everything. He walks outside, gets hit by a car. It's not even his fault. The bus just drove in, boom, dead. And I'm going, enough. And then I would say to myself, look, I'm just going to talk to the big guy right now. Am I going to die? No, not in the traditional sense. What do you mean not in the traditional sense? You're not going to die like a death.
A way of thinking.
You've already died a million times. You don't see what you're going through?
Yeah.
And this time you don't die.
Yeah.
You take it through.
It could be the death of a way of thinking.
Yeah, the pathways are closing down that are shitty. We
Right.
don't need them no more.
Right.
Why are you driving on a 1-lane highway when you could have a super lane, 50 lane, open, goes everywhere? Makes the left and the right side of your brain work in simultaneous motion, so you can think on both sides.
Right.
No box. You're thinking from up in this perspective up here. So when people are like, where are you going with the rapture and this and that? I don't believe in any of that. I don't believe you're going to get taken into spaceships and shit. I believe it's a frequency. You're going to match a frequency, and an overlay from a dimension is just going to be there.
Right.
That's it. I've witnessed it too many times. You smoke DMT, it's the same exact place. I'll see that, and I'll go, what is that? That looks like it's right here. They're like, yeah, it is, once it's fixed. I'm like, what do you mean once it's fixed? They're like, this is what it's going to become. That's the optimum timeline. So when the whole collective chooses optimum timeline, we want the best for us because we love ourselves, and we are going to make our decisions, and you're not going to be a reptilian making decisions for us in the background. No, we ain't going to have that.
No one's making decisions for you.
Yeah. No, I make my decisions.
That's right.
If I sink the ship, it's because of me.
That's right.
If I succeed, it's because I say I succeed, and I succeed because I'm abundance. And I came all the way here for this, and I'm not going to sit back no more and let you drive the car.
No, I'm accepting the consequences.
This is my vehicle. I drive.
Yeah. Did you hit everything you wanted to hit?
Just about.
Just make sure first.
So by doing that, you succeed in becoming the more you've always wanted to be. And you're going to have times where you're like, man, I hate this and I hate that and I don't understand it. You're going to break down and you're going to cry, and then you're going to heal and you're going to say, I love you, and you're going to stand up. You're going to stop being a baby. You're going to get your shit together. You're going to take a deep breath and you're going to go, okay, I can do this. And you're going to take the first step and you're going to do it. And then before you know it, it'll be complete. Right. One of the things at my old job, I used to count blueberries, billions of pallets every day, fucking pallets. Right. So they're like, don't ever look at that. Just look at the paperwork for the one section of pallets that you're looking at.
Right.
Oh, look, there's only 22. Oh, okay. So now there's not a billion. There's only 22. Well, there's only 100, but 22, yes. And then you go, oh, okay. Well, in the 22, you need 11 random samples.
Right.
If there's over a certain amount. Oh, well, that's not a lot.
Right. Because you're looking at it from another perspective. Because if you would have continued looking at it the way you were, right, you've already been defeated. You didn't even do anything yet.
And you'll never get the work done.
Right.
You get trapped in this thought that you'll never get done, and nothing gets done.
Right.
But I have 17 of those before lunch.
And you got through it. And then
you early.
And then you excelled at it.
Follow.
And then you became the best inspector.
I was the best inspector, federal inspector. Yeah. No, in the nation.
Oh, in the nation.
For 6 years. That the lady before me, Clara, who was my singer in the group, she previously had it for years. And they were like, nobody could touch this. And I went into that zone and they were like, how the hell are you doing this? And I said, I'm just following your direction. Don't look at any of that stuff.
Right. Just focus on what you need to focus on.
Right. Because I didn't want to cover my eye. Then they're like, Illuminati.
Yes.
No, not Illuminati.
Yes, because the rest of it
Frank
is
Castle,
inconsequential. So, like we talked about, worrying about things that may or may not happen, it's a time waster because we have real, legit
when you just do the job the way you're supposed to, it just goes like that.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
There is no extra. All that extra is just you. So imagine if you just removed all that extra from everything.
Because
that you've been doing.
It's the way that we tackle this, like one thing at a time, right? We when we were sick, we did one thing at a time. Right now, I have to muster up the courage to get in the shower. After that, I need the energy to take my meds. After that, I need to stop sweating long enough so that I can stay dry. So it's one thing. You can master one thing at a time. I know that sounds silly, but it's basically it's one thing at a time. You can only do one thing at a time. So if you can focus on the tasks at hand and not be overwhelmed by everything, you can start to get somewhere. You can start to make a little headway.
Yeah, just pick an area and go, that's the area I'm going to start in.
Anywhere. I
used to go on the other side and I would touch everything, and I got slapped and I got beat up and I got smashed and I got put into check and I got kicked out of experiences.
Yes, because you were better than that. Because you were definitely you were the kid that touched every button in the elevator, right?
They were like, do you want hell to rise? Because that's what you do. Threaten the black goo. And I'm like, yeah, fuck, I'll punch you. And the goo just went, run!
Right. Because you're not on the other side to entertain yourself. You're there to get information to help you hear, right? You're going there to get information to help you hear. Okay, it's not about the bells and the whistles and the entities and the fantastic.
That all comes with it.
Yeah.
If you fix you, that's all there. Then you'll see it.
Right.
Right. That's all there. But you have to do a better job at being a better, loving individual for yourself inside. You don't have to walk around going, "I love you. Can I do for you?" You know, do it for you.
No, I love me.
I love me.
I love me.
All right.
I love me enough.
Me too much.
I love me enough today that you will not change the way I feel at this very moment. I love me. Yes. I love me enough today where you will not make me feel differently than I want to feel. See, Roxy loves herself more than anything. That's why she wants to sit in my chair. She's very upset because I'm sitting next to Frank chair. And she likes to sit in the chair next to Frank. So that's how that's going.
Listen, you want to escape Agenda 21 and the distractions and the nonsense of everything, control you.
But it is.
Get a control.
Hard. It is. It's hard. You know, just the thoughts you have in one afternoon. I mean, if you actually sat down and counted the thoughts that you have in just a 5 minute period. I don't think you can continue counting. I mean, you couldn't possibly write down every thought that you had in a 5 minute period because you couldn't get through it fast enough before another thought came in and changed things. So, a lot of that is inconsequential, unnecessary, and you don't need it now. We really do need to focus on what needs to be done right now. What do you need to do for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for your loved ones right now?
And that's great advice. You should take that, you should run with it and just breathe.
She bites me every day. She's the only one. There are probably 23 cats here.
None of this is easy.
Yeah.
None of it.
None of it.
Right? If it was easy, they would have sent someone else. They sent you. You sent you.
Right. You sent you.
Because you knew you could do it. It's all about you. The story is you. You are the story. The universe in you. You are awesome. You when you fix that shit, everything gets better.
But it does.
Even
right?
when it's hard.
Even what happened
like,
today,
oh,
you were upset
so
about that thing. I was upset about that. And then it passed.
Yeah.
It was talked about, it was discussed, and then it was like released from the universe.
You want on the Optimum Timeline? It says it right there. Letting it go.
Let it go.
We gotta let it go. Letting go. We only want the optimum timeline. So if you only want the best for yourself, treat yourself the best. That doesn't mean attack things around you. Like, well, I can't be around you because you're the son of a bitch. Dude, you don't need to Randy Savage everyone. You can just back up and take a breath, realize it, and then go on about your business. When did you need to start explaining things to people to do things for you? When you pull away, they'll go, oh, what are you pulling away? You'll see all the resistance and shit. The minute I told Paula this, I lost all these people, all these friends and everything for drinking ayahuasca, for fixing myself.
Right.
My best friends all turned on me.
That's the funny part.
Even the guy that brought me ayahuasca, helped me through it and handed me here, talk on the radio about everyone. Y'all did it. And guess what? It's okay. I'm right here.
It's okay.
I'm a great person now. I'm like Superman. And for the system, y'all fucked up. It's me. Prime creators here. You wanted this. Now you got it. Right? Start thinking like that. Remember, you're the all ball. You're the great one.
Right.
You're the master of your domain. You are the bee's knees and the one of the one, all of the one, all for all and all in one. It's you and me, and we're all connected. There's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
Even the one you hate the most, that's not waking, the NPC, that thing is still connected to you because it has a flesh suit, it has a spark,
and it has a purpose.
And it has a
in
purpose.
In your life, it has a purpose.
And if you're in a place where you're being tested on your purpose, if you're screaming at the NPC, fuck you, I want you to die, you're an NPC, then you're not doing it right. You don't have to hang out with them. You don't have to hate them either. You don't have to save everyone. You could save yourself, and by saving yourself, it'll echo truth out of you.
Because when you save yourself, you bring the people with you. Up.
The rising tides raids. All boats rise in that. So just turn your light on and activate.
Right.
The story. You want aliens? You want the Galactic Federation? You want Corey Good stuff? You want Chris Geo shit? What do you want?
You got it.
That's all there.
You could have that too.
It's all there. The ayahuasca realm. To the DMT realm,
it's all there.
To the angels and the demons and the jerk offs and the awesome ones and your ancestors, it's all there. You want jesters? It's there. You want to see that stuff? All you got to do is drink it or smoke it. It's right there. Or you could just get yourself right and you'll see it. Your awareness and gnosis will just do it. So you don't need all that. You can just breathe and meditate. It's just through that you can do it. Meditation is always key. Don't forget to breathe. There's your best advice. Paula gave you great advice. I gave you great advice, and we're sticking to our story, man.
Sorry.
Man, we're sticking to our story. And trust and believe in you. You can do it. You are more, right?
Yeah. And the story's gonna be the same next week. I mean, it's the message is the story's different, the message is the same. It's you. You make the change in you, and then things around you start to change, whether you like it or not, and it spirals you in the direction that you're supposed to go. It's propelling you in the direction you're supposed to
Not
go.
who I am underneath.
No.
It's what I do that defines me.
It's the choices that we make.
Yeah, you want to be awesome? Start being awesome. That's how this works. Don't be anything less. Don't settle for less. And you don't have to angrily choke things out. You just cut the cord. Sorry, contract's up. Now it's up to you to take care of business. That means I cut the cord. No more Coke or Pepsi products. I'm just saying, use an example. Well, then it's up to you to never buy that stuff.
Yeah.
It's up to you to look up everything they sell on every layer and level and decide no money that comes out of this field is going to be spent on that. Be spent in any of that direction, period. And I don't care. Like I literally, I'm suffocating that cord, tying it off, letting it go. See you. Right? Someone sucking your energy vampires. Sorry, gotta go.
No, thank you.
No, thank you, but no, thank you. No, I don't want to be sucked on like a lollipop like that. That did not sound right. But we all know what energy vampires are doing.
I gotcha.
Sucking on the creator's teeth. Is that how you get your energy? You foobarred yourself, huh? You disconnected the little thing to source, and you thought like I'm still not source, but source is everything, dummy. So let's fix it. How do we fix it? You fix yourself. All right, that's my rant for tonight. I love you guys. I did cover everything. And remember, not everything is AI, and tentacles are everywhere, but you could just pull them out and you could sigil yourself and sage yourself and be like, no, I'm not having it, and it'll stop.
And the most important thing of the night, Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself. Be fearless.
And remember, the universe rewards bravery. Holiday season is here. Don't forget to go to IamWeAreFearless.com.
Buy a t-shirt.
IamWeAreFearless.com.
Buy a t-shirt.
IamWeAreFearless.com. Get a hoodie. It's hoodie season. Yeah. Fearless hoodie. Come on. You're going to do great. It's going to be awesome. And remember, if Bitcoin drops again, buy the dip. And we love you guys so much. Look forward to sharing many now moments with you in this experience called life on Gaia. Peace. Stay